Chapter 1. A dreamlike beginning with the discovery of a spaceship genre, science fiction. Post-apocalyptic protagonist, Yuan Ming Lilith Chapter 224. Ascending to dominate this star domain last updated. August 31st, 2024 word count, 620. 000 status. Completed rating. 68 synopsis. While others find spaceships accompanied by mentors, secret manuals, and wealth, Yuan Ming discovers a vessel devoid of any such fortune. Ultimately, he resorts to selling blue star music and ancient poetry to extraterrestrials, using the proceeds to purchase Blue Star and establish a Galactic Federation. In the cosmos, currency is measured in units such as 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100 million, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion, octillion, nonillion, decillion, and so forth. Currently, there are approximately 300 million known races in the universe, with the majority residing in regions dominated by over 300 of the most powerful races, including humans, elves, gods, cosmic behemoths, beastmen, machines, and insects. The human race alone boasts 36,000 cosmic nations, each comprising countless empires, ranging from 500 to 20,000 empires. Each empire consists of no fewer than 500 to 20,000 star systems, each housing 500 to 20,000 habitable planets, many of which possess their own nations. Presently, I find myself in the White Cloud Empire of the Honghuang Cosmic Nation, within the Yuan Kingdom in the galaxy, where one galactic crystal is equivalent to 10,000 White Cloud coins, and one White Cloud coin equals 10,000 Yuan coins. Copyright information. The digital rights of this book are provided and authorized for distribution by Tomato. For any inquiries, please inform us through my feedback. Data updated on February 24th, 2026 at 5:10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time 0800. Chapter 1. A dreamlike beginning with the discovery of a spaceship had our world not been graced by the arrival of individuals from other realms. It is highly probable that humanity would have met its demise long before the invention of the time machine. If we venture beyond Earth and fail to encounter extraterrestrial beings, we would be akin to fish residing in a pristine aquarium, obliviously observed by an unseen hand. Time, 2033. Location, Blue Star. Qinba Mountains. As the night descended like a black satin veil, distant barks occasionally pierced the tranquil silence of the mountainous region. This time, Yuan Ming's destination was a forbidden place in the village, a sight that haunted his childhood dreams. The mere mention of this location sent chills down the spines of the villagers. Known as the firebox, it bore a lengthy and grim tale. In local tradition, if a child tragically passes away, they cannot be interred in the ancestral grave. However, they cannot be carelessly discarded or hastily buried. Thus, families would wrap the child in small boxes, tiny coffins, straw mats, or cloth, often including toys or jewelry that the child cherished in life. They would then seek a site of exceptional feng shui, ensuring it was situated beneath a cliff, hence the colloquial name firebox. Consequently, Yuan Ming's intended visit to this place must remain a closely guarded secret. Otherwise, should it be discovered, pursuit would ensue for miles. As dusk gently enveloped the landscape, the surrounding mountains shielded the area from excessive light pollution, rendering the number of illuminated homes in the valley a mere handful. In rural settings, darkness heralds the return of inhabitants to their homes for meals, rest, or the continuation of their lineage. Furthermore, the rapid pace of urbanization has left many rural abodes vacant. In a typical household, 7 or 8 families have relocated, leaving ancestral homes desolate. As night falls, the chilly winds sweep through, evoking an involuntary shiver. However, Yuan Ming, a steadfast materialist nurtured in the era of modernization, harbors no belief in ghosts or deities. Consequently, aside from a slight chill, there is little to fear. Concealed behind a cluster of stones and trees, Yuan Ming awaited the arrival of night. Armed with a flashlight cloaked in white cloth, he could navigate the path without casting harsh beams into the darkness. The nocturnal mountain trail, heavy with dew, was fraught with an abundance of spider webs. In less than 50 meters, Yuan Ming's face was ensnared by webs, a common plight for those accustomed to traversing such routes at night. The annoyance came not from the lack of foot traffic, but from the relentless spiders that rebuilt their webs daily. Since beginning kindergarten at the age of 7, Yuan Ming had traversed 2 mountains daily to reach school, perpetually adorned with strands of spider silk until he moved away at 14. Reflecting on those days, he deemed it a lamentable childhood. The rugged mountain path had long been neglected, overrun by thorns. Fortunately, Yuan Ming had brought a machete, which he wielded to clear his way. Occasionally, the gentle rustling of leaves would resonate through the stillness of the night, causing a flicker of trepidation within him. What was initially a 15-minute journey stretched into a staggering 72 minutes as he finally reached his destination, Firetrap Cliff. The dwindling population in the mountains had resulted in fewer individuals willing to clear the paths, a task once performed regularly every 10 to 15 days for firewood and accessibility. Ahead, approximately 50 meters away, at an incline of about 65 degrees, lay a cluster of over 60 trees within a 200-meter radius. This density was considerable for such an environment, given the encroaching thorns and stones. The short span of 50 meters took Yuan Ming roughly 8 minutes to traverse. Upon arriving at the base of the cliff, he estimated its width to be around 60 meters and its depth varying between 7 to 14 meters. Characterized by an uneven terrain, gazing upon the hundreds of fireboxes meticulously arranged on the platform, even Yuan Ming, despite his audacity, felt an involuntary trepidation. Yet, recalling his challenging circumstances and the wise words of the elders from his youth, he resolved to seize the moment and sift through the boxes for any valuable items or precious jewelry. He contemplated that even if each firebox contained merely 10 grams of gold or silver, a few hundred of them might yield a substantial profit, especially when considering the potential presence of antiques or other rare artifacts. The anticipated gains from this venture seemed promising. However, before proceeding, Yuan Ming retrieved several gold ingots and candles, along with some joss paper from his bag, intending to pay his respects first. Although he identified as an atheist, a sense of moral obligation compelled him, as this endeavor could indeed be classified as grave robbing. Thus, with utmost reverence, Yuan Ming bowed repeatedly in homage to the hundreds of souls he believed were present. Most of the fireboxes had been resting for a considerable time, some dating back to his forefathers, and deserved a respectful approach. Silently, he prayed for the ancestors' protection, acknowledging their lineage. He expressed gratitude in advance for any treasures he might unearth, promising to honor them by maintaining their graves and paths. After a series of respectful bows, Yuan Ming prepared to begin his work. He picked up his flashlight and started with the first firebox on the left. Reaching the far left end, he discovered a wooden box, approximately 5 square meters in size, standing alone. Illuminating it with his flashlight, he examined the clasps and the concentric lock. Feeling a surge of joy, this object must surely date back to the early Qing dynasty, even if its contents held no value. The box itself would fetch a considerable price. As he was about to proceed, he noticed a narrow crack in the cliff wall, about 3 fingers wide. Looking up along the fissure, he perceived a shimmering water pattern, suggesting that water was trickling down and eroding the soil. He directed his flashlight into the narrow gap, only to find impenetrable darkness within. Yuan Ming intended to retrieve his entrenching tool from his backpack, hoping to widen the crack to discover what lay hidden inside. However, he hesitated, and as he approached within a meter of the cliff wall, he suddenly cursed aloud, realizing that the water had eroded the ground beneath him. He tumbled into a pit, which sloped at approximately 70 degrees, landing on his backside and sliding down uncontrollably, his mind momentarily blank. Time lost all meaning as he slid, feeling the chill seep through his trousers. It felt as though his pants were wearing thin, and after several seconds, a burning sensation ignited in his rear, threatening to draw blood if he continued. Quickly, he unfastened his backpack, positioning it in front of him as he adjusted his weight to shift onto it. As realization struck him, whether from fear or exhilaration, he screamed. He found himself 500 meters underground, where a raging subterranean river flowed through a depression, revealing a cavern approximately 370 meters wide, 330 meters long, and 170 meters high. In the center of this cavern lay a pool of water, upon which rested a circular platform. 15 meters to the right of the cavern ceiling, there lies a square hole measuring 5 meters on each side. Suddenly, a piercing scream echoed from above, followed by a resounding splash. A shadow plunged into the water below, and moments later, a head emerged, gasping for air, before laboriously climbing onto the platform. After resting for about 10 minutes, an overwhelming sense of injustice flooded his heart. It was one thing to lack ability, but to be deceived while working was another matter entirely. To be tricked was one thing, but to emulate grave robbers, and worse yet, to desecrate a child's grave, how absurd. He had never even learned the trade, having only perused a few volumes of tomb raiding notes without gleaning any real knowledge. Retribution. Oh heavens! How am I to return? Have I fallen into some subterranean adventure akin to Journey to the Center of the Earth? Where am I to find a volcano to erupt? He lamented, overwhelmed by despair. Weeping, he realized, was an exhausting endeavor. Anyone who has cried knows that one often succumbs to slumber amid tears. As Yuan Ming drifted into sleep, he felt the platform beneath him stir. Awakening once more, he lost track of time, His only timepiece, a phone, had vanished along with his tattered trousers, deepening his sense of hopelessness. With despair weighing heavily upon him, he decided to lie still a while longer. As fatigue ebbed, his mind grew increasingly alert, and he sensed something amiss about the platform in the center of the pool. Why was it not the pitch-black darkness he had anticipated? A faint glimmer illuminated the right side, while the left remained shrouded in obscurity. This anomaly sparked a flicker of hope in the beleaguered Yuan Ming. Could it be a civil defense structure? A nuclear facility, an air raid shelter, or perhaps an underground Noah's Ark? Filled with curiosity, he surveyed his surroundings. After some time, he found nothing unusual in the cavern above, leading him to conclude that answers might lie beneath the water's surface. Resolved to seek the truth, he plunged into the depths. Surfacing a minute later, breathless, the water was deeper than he had anticipated, at least 50 meters down. After a brief respite, he prepared himself once more and dove again, swimming toward the light. As he approached within a meter, his pupils dilated in disbelief. His hand passed through an unseen barrier. His mind momentarily froze. Was this a layer of film? What sort of technology was this? Having held his breath for so long, Yuan Ming could not ponder further. He surged toward the membrane, crashing through it. Before him stood a door, 10 meters wide and 18 meters high, leading into a long, brightly lit corridor imbued with a sense of advanced technology. Observing the walls, he wondered if they were made of nickel, chromium, molybdenum, or silicon. The material felt strangely familiar, yet emitted warmth, a comfortable 26 degrees. He licked it with his tongue. There was no metallic taste, but when he tapped it with his hand, a distinctly metallic resonance echoed back. Was this a spacecraft? Surely, he could not be dreaming. What a ridiculous notion. Was he in some sort of cosmic fantasy? Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Yuan Ming ventured further down the corridor, walking nearly 80 meters before finally turning left, where he discovered another door. The door stood at a height of 6 meters and a width of 4 meters, peculiarly devoid of a handle. Neither the sides nor the surface bore any fingerprints or the switches for facial recognition cameras. The only recourse was to explore the door by touch, seeking any trace of a clue. Just as he pressed his face against it, applying a mere 0.1 kilogram of force, the door inexplicably swung open inward, nearly sending him sprawling. Regaining his composure, he surveyed the surroundings. An approximately 800 square meter circular hall, soaring 6 meters high, dominated by a cylindrical virtual screen at its center, projecting an array of incomprehensible symbols. Before the screen stood a chair, facing it while turning its back to the grand entrance, with 4 rows of 6 humanoid figures kneeling behind it. These beings loomed at an astonishing height of around 15 meters, potentially standing at 4 meters tall. Gazing at this scene, Yuan Ming's pupils dilated, utterly astonished, no, rather terrified. What was this? Aliens? Suddenly, the door behind him slammed shut. Fear coursed through him, causing his legs to weaken. He almost fell to his knees in submission, exclaiming, "I'm just 18 and have never even had a girlfriend. Please, give me a chance. Treat me as inconsequential and let me go. This isn't a joke I can handle." Trembling uncontrollably, he found himself unable to move, sitting on the ground in a state of panic, motionless for half an hour. Eventually, summoning a modicum of courage, he began to crawl slowly toward the door, only to discover it was now sealed tight. No handle, no gap. His nails could find no purchase, and after struggling for 56 minutes, he glanced back to find the beings still unresponsive. Swallowing hard, he gathered his courage and cautiously edged along the wall, taking careful steps until he circled around to their right front, where he was met with astonishment. The figures kneeling before him were all skeletal, clad in armor, giving the illusion of life from behind. From the front, it was evident that their flesh had long since decayed. Yet the figure seated in the chair showed no signs of life either. The fear that had gripped him began to dissipate. His heart raced as he realized they were all lifeless. What kind of beings were these? Predators? Aliens? With his courage returning, his pallor transformed to a flush, emboldening him to approach the grotesque assembly. He pondered, if I could bring these armored entities back home, my worries about sustenance would vanish. Perhaps I could even venture to Myanmar or Laos to acquire a few wives. Once, someone had queried Yuan Ming, if you had 7 wives, how would you support them? He had scoffed at the absurdity. With 7 wives, why worry about support? They'd all work, with 2 at home taking turns to attend to me, ensuring all my needs were met. Their combined income would be more than sufficient, and I wouldn't even know how to spend it all. The thought brought him a sense of delight. As he approached the chair, he beheld the figure seated there, towering and resembling a predator. Yuan Ming marveled at the wonders of nature, reflecting on its capacity to give rise to such extraordinary beings. Subsequently, after a series of knocks and taps, It became evident that this armor was astonishingly thin yet remarkably hard, seemingly seamless in its construction. How could it be dismantled? Was he to return with the corpse? Or perhaps extract the flesh from within? How repulsive! Upon closer inspection, it appeared that only the left wrist of the corpse could be removed. This wrist bore a screen, resembling a watch, albeit larger and broader, perhaps a matter of differing aesthetics. It appeared quite awkward. He then lifted the arm, realizing it weighed an impressive 78 kilograms. Removing the wrist was no small feat. He grasped the technologically advanced wrist device, uncertain of its material but certain of its value, and placed it onto his own left wrist. It seemed oversized and cumbersome, resembling a thick board, as he fastened the clasp. Suddenly, a miraculous occurrence unfolded. It automatically resized to fit his arm perfectly. An odd sensation followed, akin to being pricked by a needle. It felt as though he was bleeding, and then a wondrous image materialized in his mind. A creature, approximately 30 centimeters in height, appeared before him, hovering directly in front, accompanied by an enchanting cacophony of sounds. After about 10 seconds of this auditory stimulation, a throbbing pain surged through his head, culminating in a voice declaring, "Carbon-based life form detected. Genetic confirmation as human. Language recognized as Huaxia. Automatic binding initiated." Chapter 3. A Dreamlike Beginning. Discovering a spaceship. Hello. What exactly are you? Or what does this signify? Could you possibly elucidate for me? Yuan Ming's voice trembled slightly, evidently astonished by the bizarre circumstances unfolding before him. Role confirmation in progress. Please select your system identity. Upon successful registration, the information will be permanently bound. A cold, emotionless voice resonated within Yuan Ming's mind. Subsequently, Yuan Ming felt a sudden emergence of a luminous screen within his consciousness, an extraordinary sensation akin to donning the latest model of Apple glasses, completely unobtrusive to his normal vision, yet allowing him to clearly perceive the semicircular screen before him. Immediately, a plethora of options cascaded forth, presenting a dizzying array of races: humans, celestials, elves, titans, insects, machines, three-eyed beasts, and countless others from the vast cosmos, overwhelming Yuan Ming to the point of visual disarray. After much contemplation, he ultimately selected the familiar elven race. "Let us proceed with the elves," he proclaimed, his voice resolute. "Please confirm character information," came the reply. As the words faded, a panel resembling an avatar interface materialized before him, displaying the numbers 100100. Yuan Ming gently swiped his hand across the panel, marveling as it scrolled fluidly. After several moments of deep reflection, he finalized his choice: a petite purple elf, approximately 16 centimeters tall, whose appearance conformed beautifully to human aesthetic standards. Confirm character. Please confirm the name for your holographic interface. Seeing how adorable you are, I shall name you Lilith. After much deliberation, Yuan Ming responded slowly. Character registration successful. Confirming host information. Name: Yuan Ming. Race: Wild Star People, an undeveloped unknown planet. Earth: Brain development 6. The normal value for the undeveloped universe is 60. Combat power 0.6. The normal value for the undeveloped universe is 50. Level: weak and mediocre physique. Cultivation method: none. Life limit 2284. Occupational information: none. Other information: none. As Yuan Ming gazed at this series of information before him, it felt as if 1,000 wild horses were galloping through his mind. Am I truly this weak? Or is the universe simply too formidable? He was engulfed in a profound sense of helplessness and disbelief. Please face the reality, host. The light brain originates from the Hongwang Universe Nation, a product of the Virtual Universe Company. The recorded information encompasses most of the known data in the universe, thus achieving an accuracy rate of 99.9. The voice of Lilith echoed once more. Lilith, where is the Hongwang Universe Nation? What is the Virtual Universe Company? How did you come to be? Whose body is this? Yuan Ming rapidly unleashed a torrent of questions. Yuan Ming, the known races in the current universe amount to over 300 million. Most of which reside within the territories of the 300 strongest peak races, including humans, elves, gods, cosmic behemoths, beastmen, mechanical beings, and insectoid races. The human race possesses 36,000 universe nations, each comprising countless empires, with the smallest having 500 empires and the largest reaching up to 20,000. Each empire contains at least 500 star systems, with a maximum of 20,000, and each star system harbors between 500 and 20,000 life-bearing planets. Currently, we find ourselves within the Hongwang Universe Nation, specifically the Baiyun Empire of the Yunlan Kingdom in the Milky Way galaxy. This region boasts 800 known life planets, spanning a diameter of 2 million light-years. with the nearest life-bearing planet to Earth being Wutong Star, situated 12 light-years away. Due to the former master being pursued, he traversed through more than 10 star systems, colliding with over 160 planets, with the final impact occurring on Earth. He then activated the ship's protective layer, the star barrier. Unless enemies approach the vicinity of the solar system and detect anomalies on Earth, beyond this range, even if passing by, they would perceive only several lifeless planets orbiting the sun. This body belongs to the former master, who perished after expending his last remnants of soul in a desperate attempt to cast a secret technique against his pursuers. This narrative bears a striking resemblance to the story penned by Tomato in Swallowing the Starry Sky. Do I need to assist in avenging him? Did he leave behind any cultivation methods for me? Am I entitled to inherit his assets? Yuan Ming inquired with great curiosity. Yuan Ming. The former master passed away too abruptly to impart any knowledge to me. There is no need for you to seek vengeance on his behalf. Nor did he leave behind any cultivation methods, as such techniques are of utmost importance to every individual. They are etched in the mind and never shared openly. His wealth and most cherished possessions were securely stored within the cosmic bank, without his physical presence or the activation of his bioelectromagnetic recognition system. It was utterly impossible to retrieve any of his belongings. Thus, nothing was left behind. However, during his travels across the cosmos, the esteemed master had effortlessly dealt with numerous interstellar pirates, accumulating a significant collection of confiscated items within his wrist, including universal currency. The cosmic crystal and cosmic coin serve as vital elements. The cosmic crystal is the energy required for the cultivation of all beings in the universe, gradually condensed from the essence of the cosmos. It functions not only as currency, but also as a consumable resource during the cultivation process, alongside various currencies not belonging to the Bayan Empire. The exchange rates are as follows. 1 cosmic crystal equals 10,000 cosmic coins. 1 cosmic coin equals 10,000 Bayan coins, and 1 Bayan coin equals 10,000 Yuan coins. Upon hearing Lilith's explanation, Yuan Ming eagerly inquired, "How can I withdraw cosmic coins for cultivation? Now that your wrist is linked to my information, you can view the stored items on the screen or enter the wrist storage space through mental focus," Lilith replied. Ecstatic, Yuan Ming's jaw dropped in disbelief. He then composed himself to explore the contents of his wrist. After a few minutes of concentration, he became familiar with the method of accessing his belongings. He subsequently retrieved an object resembling a silver dollar, feeling its considerable weight, approximately 1 pound. It is noteworthy that silver has a density 11 times that of water, gold 19 times, while the density of the cosmic coin is estimated to be over 100 times that of water, far surpassing the density of all known metals on Earth. Nature is truly wondrous, Yuan Ming marveled. In the following half hour, he posed numerous inquiries regarding the cosmos, to which Lilith provided comprehensive answers. Eventually, he placed his wrist on the control panel of the spaceship's right side, with Lilith as a superintelligent AI, assuming control of the entire vessel. Yuan Ming, I have both good news and bad news for you. Wow, you've mastered this as well. Just tell me plainly. I'm not fond of surprises, Yuan Ming replied, somewhat exasperated. The bad news is that the ship's energy reserves have dwindled to a mere 2%. It cannot perform a curved jump and can only travel at standard light speed. We must reach the nearest Wudong star to replenish energy before it can be used normally. The good news is that I have connected to the cosmic network, allowing us to communicate with others and purchase energy. We can arrange for delivery, but payment must be made through the cosmic bank account. Cash on delivery is not an option due to security concerns. I have no money. Yuan Ming was momentarily taken aback, feeling a wave of despair wash over him. Without funds, who would engage with you? Chapter 4. Return to the Han Dynasty. Our immediate priority is to return to the surface, Lilith. Is there any way to get back? Yuan Ming asked urgently. His brow furrowed. In this vast and boundless universe, whether it be soil, metal, plastic, or flesh and bone, as long as their hardness and strength reach a certain standard, they are classified into grades A through H. Among these, grade A materials are the most common and weakest in the universe, while grade H materials represent the pinnacle of strength, exceedingly rare and astonishingly expensive. Any grades beyond these surpass our comprehension. Similarly, human power is meticulously categorized into levels: planetary, stellar, cosmic, domain lord, and realm lord, with further distinctions including immortal, noble immortal, king-level immortal, and transcending immortality to reach the esteemed level of venerable. The ruler of the cosmic nation must certainly be of venerable status, implying that there are at least 36,000 venerable beings within the human race. Our spacecraft is meticulously crafted from pure E-grade materials, which corresponds to the realm lord level. To the soil of Blue Star, it is as insubstantial as water. effortlessly capable of propelling you into the cosmos. Lilith explained methodically. Upon hearing this, Yuan Ming began to form a rough outline of these concepts in his mind. But then he suddenly inquired, "Wait, Lilith, how large is this spacecraft? Let us simply rename it Yukong." "Very well, the specific shape is now displayed on the screen." Yuan Ming followed suit and looked up at the screen, where a streamlined, triangular, flat, disc-shaped spacecraft devoid of legs and wheels appeared before him. Its golden hue and seamless surface radiated a strong sense of futurism. His gaze shifted to the accompanying data, revealing that the entire vessel was an astonishing 280 meters long, 350 meters wide, and 80 meters high. The spacecraft was divided into 4 levels. The topmost level housed the cockpit, filled with various intricate instruments and operational equipment, serving as the central nervous system controlling the fate of the ship. The second level was the living quarters, designed with warmth and comfort to evoke a sense of home during the lengthy interstellar journey. The third level contained training rooms and gravity chambers, providing an excellent venue for enhancing personal strength. The bottommost level stored abundant resources, energy, supplies, and ores, ensuring a solid foundation for the ship's operation and development. Furthermore, the ship was equipped with 200 simulated biohumans, including 120 combat types, 50 maintenance technicians, and 30 service types. Among the 120 combat type simulacra, 2 were E-grade, 10 were D-grade, and the remainder were composed of C-grade metals. Yuan Ming pondered for a moment before asking, "Lilith, according to your explanation, does this mean your former master is at the Realm Lord level corresponding to E-grade metal?" "Yuan Ming, you are mistaken. In the universe, the value of metallic materials is exceedingly high. While it is true that E-grade metal corresponds to the Realm Lord level, its rarity is beyond imagination. It can disregard any attack from a Realm Lord, and the entirety of a Realm Lord's wealth is far from sufficient to purchase a piece of E-grade material equal to their own size. My former master painstakingly gathered this spacecraft through countless epochs and immense effort. The spacecraft weighs an astonishing 2 million tons. If sold, it could purchase 10 star systems, providing ample resources to establish a nation of considerable scale. The original owner is of an immortal caliber, distinguished even among the immortals." Upon hearing Lilith's words, Yuan Ming experienced a moment of enlightenment, reflecting inwardly. This is akin to playing Clash of Clans. Upgrading the headquarters is straightforward, yet fortifications and technology are arduous to enhance. The difficulty of upgrading a single wall is nearly equivalent to that of upgrading the headquarters, not to mention the daunting task of upgrading over 400 walls. However, at this moment, it felt as though he had stumbled upon a level 14 account with a full array of level 13 walls. Pure bliss. Given the immense size of the ship, it would be unwise to exit directly. Should the nation discover any traces, the ensuing complications would be considerable. There is no need for such arrogance. Since the Earth is as malleable to us as water, why not traverse directly from underground to the seabed, then emerge from the surface? After careful deliberation, Yuan Ming proposed. After several hours of convoluted navigation, the moment to depart finally arrived. The spacecraft effortlessly traversed from 500 meters beneath the ground in Sichuan province, emerging seamlessly into the underground sea of Fuqingda City, before rising to the surface like a dragon from the depths. At 3 in the morning, the sea was alive only with the howling wind, while the surroundings lay in eerie silence, devoid of any vessels. A shadow silently emerged from the water, soaring into the sky, and within mere moments, it returned to Sichuan province, hovering steadily above the city while activating its cloaking mode. It is not an exaggeration to assert that even the White Cloud Empire would hesitate to claim possession of more advanced equipment. In this realm of cloud blue, even the most sophisticated detection devices would fail to uncover any trace, as long as the Yukong vessel remained discreetly concealed. This very assurance emboldened Yuan Ming and his companions to act with such audacity. "Lilith, as a highly advanced light brain, you must possess remarkable capabilities. Could you procure some wealth for me? I currently have only $28 and no place to stay tonight." Yuan Ming inquired with hopeful anticipation. "This is simple. I will handle it immediately. Allow me to demonstrate," she replied, executing the task in a mere 10 seconds. "Yuan Ming, I have transferred $300 million from an anonymous account in a Swiss bank to your Han Dynasty account, equivalent to 21.6 billion renminbi. This fortune originally belonged to a deceased tyrant from continent F, and now it is unclaimed. Rest assured, it cannot be traced. I wish to bring 2 sovereign-level bioentities to my side for protection. Can you arrange suitable identities for them?" Yuan Ming asked. "Not a problem. Their identities as overseas Chinese have been established," she assured him. "Also, please transfer a portion of the 1.6 billion to Alipay. It's late. And without a mobile phone, I can only make payments via facial recognition. With that, Yuan Ming finally opened the lower cargo door and leaped from an elevation of 3 meters. The armor of the 2 bodyguards instantly transformed into suits. Indeed, Lilith's attention to detail was commendable, and they followed suit in their descent. Yuan Ming utilized the storage function in his wrist device to effortlessly stow the spacecraft away. On the rooftop of a towering building adjacent to Chunchi Road, known as Duhui Huading, they arrived at the stairway entrance, only to discover that the door was firmly locked. However, with 2 security guards present, this posed no obstacle. One of the guards nonchalantly extended a finger, and with a gentle motion, the door swung open. At that moment, Yuan Ming felt a chill at his rear, recalling that his trousers had been worn thin from previous escapades. In haste, he removed his jacket and fashioned it around his waist, creating a rather peculiar appearance. It was reminiscent of middle school days when a girl, caught off guard by her monthly visitor, would wrap her soiled pants in clothing to conceal them, an awkward but necessary compromise. Fortunately, he was aware of the abundance of mosquitoes in the mountains. Otherwise, who would don a jacket in July? After traversing several flights of stairs, they opened the emergency exit door and entered the corridor, ultimately locating the elevator. Thus, the trio stepped into the lift and descended, emerging at the entrance of Duhui Huading. The security guard inside, approximately 30 years of age, was blissfully asleep, blissfully unaware of the 30 years of missed opportunities he had navigated. Upon waking to the sight of a young man in his 20s, he momentarily mistook him for a delivery worker and was incensed enough to rise and prepare for a reprimand. However, upon noticing the 2 impeccably dressed individuals in suits following closely behind, he promptly swallowed his words. Despite the frequent disparagement of security personnel in television dramas, they possess a keen awareness of whom to respect and whom to avoid, given the sensitivity of their profession. Recognizing the formidable presence before him, the guard politely inquired, "How may I assist you?" and dutifully opened the door. Yuan Ming, accompanied by his 2 bodyguards, stepped onto the street. Lilith had already infiltrated the network, securing a presidential suite in a 5-star hotel, and had arranged for a high-end business vehicle to transport them. The car, a prominently marked Mercedes, was parked steadily on the road, exuding an air of prestige. Once inside, the driver confirmed their identities, and the vehicle promptly set off. The driver, Mr. Liu, was delighted with this fare, earning over 430 yuan for a mere 10-kilometer journey, along with an additional 50 yuan tip, filling his heart with joy. Throughout the ride, he refrained from excessive conversation, aware that high-profile clients typically preferred silence, lest he risk losing that generous gratuity. Chapter 5. The warp drive. The Mercedes pulled directly up to the hotel entrance, where valets and attendants immediately approached, eagerly opening the car doors. They bowed and offered a flurry of welcoming phrases, leaving Yuan Ming feeling somewhat awkward, as he had no money to offer as a tip. Entering the lobby, he marveled at the opulent decor. Indeed, it was a testament to one of the top 5 cities of the Han Dynasty. The 5-star hotel in Shuzhong boasted exquisite adornments, and Yuan Ming found no faults worthy of complaint. From the entrance to the service desk, a young woman in uniform accompanied them, her demeanor natural and pleasant. While she may not have been strikingly beautiful, her amiable smile was undeniably comforting. Following the 2 bodyguards instilled an undeniable sense of confidence. All eyes in the lobby were drawn towards him as he announced his room number and name. With no need for identification, his verification completed effortlessly. This was due to Lilith having booked him the presidential suite at a staggering price of 590,000 for a single night, having already paid for 15 days. A sum that far exceeded the imagination of the average working class. Nearly 900,000 in this region of Shu, where the average price is 250,000 per square meter, equated to the loss of half a residence for merely a 15-day stay. Therefore, the service at the front desk was exceptional. Soon, a charming young woman, approximately 19 years of age, emerged from the other side. Though dressed similarly to the 67 other receptionists, her demeanor surpassed them all. She approached the bar, retrieved the room key belonging to Yuan Ming, and introduced herself. "I am Yu Xiao. I will be your service attendant during your stay. Please follow me. By the way, my phone is broken. Could you assist me in purchasing a new one? Just add the cost to my room bill. Additionally, please procure a set of clothing for me. Size 175 and weight 75 kilograms. You may choose and have it delivered to my room." Without a second thought, Yuan Ming spoke and followed her to the elevator, accompanied by his 2 bodyguards. It was early morning, and the place was nearly deserted. The lobby was sparsely populated, and the elevator was similarly empty. The room key could only grant access to the designated floor. Upon reaching the presidential suite floor, Yu Xiao opened the door and stepped inside, introducing the spacious room, which encompassed over 300, nearly 400 square meters. It featured a small swimming pool, a bathtub, and 2 attendant rooms, perfectly accommodating the bodyguards without drawing undue attention. Having grown weary from the night's events, Yuan Ming politely declined Yu Zhao's further explanations, as this industry often relied on reading the room's atmosphere. Thus, Yu Zhao bid farewell to the room, leaving the key with the bodyguards and informing them that the phone and clothing would be delivered by noon. Exhausted, he shed his clothing and backpack, proceeded to the bathroom for a quick wash, and selected a fitting bathrobe from the closet. He then reclined on the bed, basking in the soft glow of the room's lighting, while the 2 bodyguards stood vigil outside the bedroom door. Yuan Ming summoned Lilith. The holographic interface was truly remarkable, unobtrusive to vision, resembling an Apple device, as Lilith materialized before him in 4D, playfully bouncing on the soft bed. Lilith, what did you mean when you mentioned traveling at ordinary light speed? Wouldn't it take 12 years to reach the Wutong star, located 12 light years away? Wouldn't I age and perish on the spaceship? Typically, there are 3 forms of travel for spacecraft in the cosmos, in comparison to the vast expanse of the universe. With the Milky Way stretching over 2 million light years, Earth is but a mere speck of sand. Hence, the first advancements in cosmic civilization introduced methods to alter humanity's living conditions and distances. The first method is the warp drive, also known as the curvature engine, a superluminal propulsion system theoretically allowing spacecraft to travel at speeds several magnitudes greater than that of light. This technological concept envisions creating an artificial bubble of normal spacetime around the spacecraft, enabling safe superluminal travel while circumventing the relativistic issues of time dilation. The speed classification of warp engines ranges from levels 1 to 10, where a level 1 warp engine achieves velocities equivalent to the speed of light in a vacuum. Higher-tier warp engines can reach speeds that are several magnitudes surpassing light speed. For instance, a level 99 warp engine can attain speeds exceeding 3,000 times that of light, while a level 99,999 warp engine approaches an astounding 200,000 times the speed of light. Such velocities enable humanity to realize genuine interstellar travel. Theoretically, it may be possible for humanity to traverse hundreds of light years within mere decades. The second method involves dark cosmic flight, a counterpart to our universe, characterized by a space devoid of any medium. In this realm, speed can be disregarded, allowing a spacecraft to breach cosmic barriers and enter the dark cosmos, covering a distance of 10,000 light years in just 1 hour. The third method pertains to artificial wormholes. While the theory acknowledges their existence, the calculations regarding energy consumption are not as straightforward. Gunpowder combined with gunpowder remains gunpowder. The principle of quantitative change inducing qualitative change holds true. However, a vessel cannot carry the energy of another vessel solely for the purpose of traversing space. The creation of black holes using high energy presents a more viable option. To illustrate, an individual may run swiftly, but can one maintain that speed while burdened with 100 kilograms? Thus, wormholes serve to bridge the gap between large interstellar ships and supply vessels. Furthermore, motherships, due to their immense size and insufficient energy, are often constructed. Typically, artificial wormholes are created by individuals of esteemed rank or higher. These phenomena can endure for millions of epochs, and once the energy is depleted, they must be reconstructed. In earthly terms, 1 epoch equates to 10,000 years, leading to a grand total of 1 million epochs for one to contemplate. The vessel known as the Wukong is equipped with 2 types of engines, warp and dark cosmic. However, both energy sources are exceedingly demanding, and currently, due to insufficient energy, the ship can only travel at conventional speeds, which is merely light speed. If one were to journey to Wudong Star, it would indeed take 120,000 years. Should the resources of the Venerable Elder be accessible, it would be possible to procure energy cores in the virtual universe and have them delivered to a deserted star system adjacent to the solar system, allowing for retrieval of the cores within a mere 10 minutes aboard the Wukong. Regrettably, following the Elder's passing, his accounts can only be accessed by him, and the vulnerabilities of cosmic banks are impenetrable for us. His quantum brain and mainframe are 10 times larger than Jupiter, representing the culmination of countless formidable individuals and advanced technology. The storage space on his wrist device is replete with an array of equipment, which could be sold. We could place our items there, allowing them to retrieve the goods in exchange for payment. However, this is unfeasible, Yuan Ming. Aside from the cosmic virtual companies and cosmic banks, smaller enterprises are untrustworthy, akin to the unscrupulous shell companies on your blue planet that resort to any means for profit. Should those minor companies discover your possession of an E-class spaceship and a living planet, you would be at risk of abduction or assassination. The blue planet could be transformed into a slave planet, exploited for breeding or sale. Currently, You exist without identity, devoid of protection under any imperial law. However, the Cosmic Virtual Company and the Cosmic Bank are vastly different. Their credibility is recognized by all 36,000 cosmic nations. Once goods are dispatched to a designated location, they will depart accordingly. Their spacecraft monitor all service personnel, ensuring confidentiality and safety, as only they can guarantee secure deliveries. So why wait? Contact them directly to arrange for your goods. Yuan Ming, the Cosmic Virtual Company and the Cosmic Bank are not as simple as you might imagine. Without any identity or assets, they will not entertain your orders. The cosmos is rife with interstellar pirates, bold enough to rob banks. Placing orders indiscriminately could summon them, which is perilous, a lesson learned from many bloody experiences. Therefore, one must possess wealth and identity to place an order. Lilith, how can I earn money? At the very least, how much must I have for them to accept my orders? You need a minimum of 10 million cosmic coins, 100 million white cloud coins, or 1 trillion cloud blue coins. The total amount of money on Earth doesn't even compare. Is this not absurd? Viewing panel. Name, Yuan Ming race. Earthling, undeveloped and unknown planet. Blue star, brain domain development. 6. Cosmic nation average. 60. Combat power. 06. Cosmic nation average. 50. Level, weak constitution. Below average cultivation method. None life limit. 2284 occupation information. None other information. None money. Earth currency. 21. 6 billion human coins. How on earth can I earn cosmic coins? Boundary. Extracurricular knowledge. Here comes some extracurricular knowledge for those interested. Take a closer look at the cosmic insights. The warp drive or Alcubierre drive is a hypothetical superluminal travel device. It achieves faster than light effects by distorting space, allowing a spacecraft to travel at speeds exceeding light without violating the laws of physics. The principle involves a powerful engine that compresses the space in front of the ship while stretching the space behind it. Thus, under the relative effects of distorted space, the ship is enveloped in a region of spacetime known as a warp bubble, enabling it to attain an apparent speed far beyond light without contravening the speed limit set by the theory of relativity. This is because the theory of relativity restricts the speed of objects and energy within the spacetime continuum, but does not limit the motion of the spacetime continuum itself. Chapter 6. The Virtual Cosmic Company. The primary objective now is to earn money, and only then to grow stronger. Without wealth, nothing can be acquired, rendering the pursuit of strength futile. Lilith, do cosmic powerhouses have a lifespan limitation? The lifespans of cosmic powerhouses are as follows. Below average apprentice, 200 years, planetary level, approximately 1,000 years, stellar level, a single epoch about 10,000 years, cosmic level, 10 epochs, domain master level, 100 epochs, realm master level, 1,000 epochs. The essence of immortality transcends mere longevity. It embodies an eternal state, impervious to decay. Yuan Ming, at present, you are scarcely even an apprentice. In the vast expanse of the primordial universe, the multitude of life forms that emerge have an average lifespan of merely 60 years. With your current power level of 6, and an apprentice's strength rated at 100, a mere flick of an apprentice's finger could easily extinguish your existence. Thus, you must strive diligently. Only upon reaching planetary status will you be considered to have taken the first step. The old master has been deceased on Earth for 1 billion years, and due to his exalted rank, he exists in a state of immortality, devoid of anything below the domain lord tier. Even if such entities existed, they could not endure for 1 billion years. You can only evolve your genetic makeup by providing your blood to the Cosmic Virtual Company, which will accelerate your cultivation and enhance your affinity for cosmic energy. Hearing this, Yuan Ming felt a wave of embarrassment. Indeed, who would engage in a game at level 100 while still possessing a level 0 character? It is utterly absurd. Lilith, you previously mentioned the virtual universe. How might I gain entry? Close your eyes, focus your mind, and immerse yourself in your wrist, and you will arrive at the virtual city of the White Cloud Empire. This city spans 500,000 light years, which is relatively diminutive compared to the real universe. Inside, everything is virtual, allowing you to traverse any location. There are also spacecraft, whose speeds surpass even the dark universe in real time, though the costs are not insignificant. Every individual within is a real person from your life. Consuming food and drink incurs a fee, yet you may experience flavors unattainable in the real universe. For instance, if you cannot afford the $1,000 Mount I outside, within the virtual universe, it costs merely $1. You could also find employment there, but I advise against it, as your lifespan is limited, and it may take 60 years to amass 100 cosmic coins. After listening to Lilith's introduction, Yuan Ming closed his eyes and calmed his mind, entering the virtual universe. A flash of white light enveloped him, transporting him to the virtual city of the White Cloud Empire. Suddenly, he found himself on a street that transcended any modern experience. The ground and buildings, soaring from dozens to thousands of meters, were seamlessly connected, a testament to sheer superiority and magnificence. After approximately half an hour of exploration, Yuan Ming felt akin to Lu Laolao wandering through the Grandview Garden. Regrettably, the cosmic crystals and coins stored in his wrist spatial compartment were rendered useless in this virtual universe. How do you find it? Are you not amazed? Lilith circled around him, flying gracefully. Yuan Ming maintained a facade of composure, pretending to survey his surroundings. As he wandered, he suddenly spotted a towering building, 300 meters high, emblazoned with the words Cosmic Cultural Entertainment Company. Since his entry into the virtual universe was facilitated by Lilith, everything he observed transformed into Chinese characters. While all his spoken words were rendered into the most authentic universal language of the cosmos, a necessity for all powerful beings venturing into space. In this virtual realm, crime, robbery, and violence are non-existent. Should such acts occur, the virtual universe company would scan and issue warnings. Minor infractions would result in fines, while serious offenses could lead to account suspension. Upon entering the Grand Hall, Yuan Ming was met with an expansive space filled with individuals resting, its dimensions dwarfing those outside by 100-fold. Incredible, he exclaimed in astonishment. Lilith suddenly appeared in the virtual universe, where every inch is invaluable. The White Cloud Empire boasts life planets numbering in the billions. Smaller life planets can host hundreds of millions, while larger ones can house trillions, akin to the size of the sun. All these beings congregate within a singular city, leading to an exceedingly confined space. The external buildings exhibit splendid grandeur, yet the internal space can be infinitely expanded, albeit at a greater monetary cost. While money is not omnipotent, a lack of it is utterly debilitating. In the Grand Hall, aliens of various statures abound, some towering at 178 meters, while others are merely 230 centimeters tall. Yuan Ming also encountered many humans resembling him, albeit with diverse skin tones of blue, green, red, and yellow. They occupied the hall, standing or seated on chairs of varying sizes, reflecting the disparate lifestyles of their respective home planets. The pressures, gravities, environments, and ways of life contribute to each being's unique stature, much like the varying heights and sizes found even on Earth. As a knowledgeable youth of the 21st century, Yuan Ming regarded all this with a sense of detachment. After wandering the hall for a while, he finally grasped the essence of the company, which encompassed literature, cinema, culture, ancient text studies, music, and entertainment. In a moment of inspiration, Yuan Ming pondered a potential business opportunity. Could the ancient poetry and music from Blue Star be monetized? He turned to Lilith, inquiring if she could package the ancient poems and music into 2 separate collections, believing he could profit from them. Surely, you don't intend to sell them, do you? Lilith remarked, you are being overly optimistic. With billions of races, even if they could understand, the translations would inevitably lose their essence. Would they sell? Leave that aside for now. Let me try. With so many races, one can never be certain. Perhaps a blind cat might stumble upon a dead mouse and strike it rich. Though Lilith voiced skepticism, she nonetheless prepared 2 documents, displaying them through the holographic interface for Yuan Ming, who struggled to comprehend much of it. The advanced holographic system was formatted for the universe, yet he discerned names like Jay Cho, G.E.M., Wang Liham, Michael Jackson, and Adam Lambert. They cannot reach the aliens. And the aliens are unaware that the copyrights are not theirs. Who would know if we sell them? He chuckled to himself as he followed the signs to the 4th floor. Upon locating a service desk, he inquired about business collaborations and took a place in line, observing more than 10 individuals ahead of him. After what felt like an interminable wait, his turn finally arrived. With a gentle call from a staff member by the window, Luna approached briskly. Hello, I am Luna. How may I assist you in a collaborative project? She inquired. The man across from her smiled and replied, Greetings, I am handsome. After all, one must adopt a pseudonym while traversing the world. I happen to possess 2 invaluable collections of poetry and music, which I have meticulously preserved. I wish to share them with friends across the universe. Certainly, my current financial situation is somewhat strained, and I hope to earn enough through this collaboration to sustain my livelihood. Furthermore, I intend to embark on a journey to various planets, for the world is vast, and I yearn to explore its wonders. Luna nodded slightly in understanding and responded, Very well, handsome sir. Could you kindly share your works with us? We will arrange for professionals to evaluate and discuss them. She gestured towards the windowsill, where a series of seemingly chaotic numbers, resembling a code, was displayed. At that moment, Lilith swiftly transmitted 2 documents. One was a collection brimming with the 300 Tang poems and exemplary modern poetry from both domestic and international sources. These verses sparkled like brilliant stars, radiating the light of wisdom and emotion. The other document pertained to music, encompassing over 100 million copyrighted songs globally, with their numbers increasing at a staggering rate of several hundred new releases daily. The sheer volume of songs was astonishing, yet no one could accurately ascertain the total number of songs in existence. However, Lilith had managed to compile everything and send it over. Handsome sir, we have received your 2 documents. Our professionals and Light Brain are currently analyzing them, and we will have results in approximately 10 minutes. Please hold on, Luna stated. Yuan Ming held great hope, as with over 100 million songs, even at 1 cosmic coin per song, it would amount to a fortune of 100 million cosmic coins. He awaited Luna's astonished reaction with dreams of wealth. 10 minutes later, Luna returned with an apologetic expression. Your results are in. For your poetry, our private consultant, Jason, is willing to offer 100 cosmic coins for acquisition, and your music company is prepared to pay 300 cosmic coins for the rights. Yuan Ming was nearly incensed, exclaiming internally, damn it, this is the culmination of the efforts of 7 billion people on Earth. You offer me a mere 100 cosmic coins for poetry and 300 for music? Do you think your money is made of diamonds? Lilith thought to herself that this was equivalent to 4 million Baiyun coins or 400 billion Yuan coins. Enough to purchase many things. However, Yuan Ming was oblivious, perceiving it as a paltry sum. No, I absolutely refuse. Please take a closer look. This is over 100 million original works. You bloodsuckers have no conscience. Are you attempting to rob me of my rights with 400 cosmic coins? Seeing the client's fury, Luna continued, if you are dissatisfied with the previous offer, there is an alternative. Our company spans 36,000 cosmic nations, and we can feature both of your works on our website. The first 10 will be free, and if anyone wishes to continue reading or listening, they can pay thereafter. As a promotional strategy, our company would charge a 20 service fee, but we will not provide you with any upfront payment. Profits will only be shared after earnings are generated. Initially approaching this endeavor with a trial mindset, Yuan Ming, upon hearing this proposal, did not hesitate and opted for the second payment model. Let us proceed with the second model. Though I am not particularly in need of money, my primary intention is to share this sentiment with everyone. Suddenly, I felt a twinge of embarrassment regarding my leg hair. Yet, there is a saying online, as long as one is not embarrassed, the embarrassment lies with others. Do not hesitate, just act. Although Luna found it utterly amusing, being professionally trained, she could not allow herself to laugh, only harboring a sense of disdain for him internally. Pray tell, handsome sir, how do you set up the payment? This task must be done by you personally. Poetry is a tribute to the soul. The first 10 verses are free to read. Should you wish to explore further, each additional piece costs 1 cosmic coin. To access all, you may purchase a complete package for the modest sum of 400 cosmic coins. Similarly, the first 10 musical pieces are complimentary, with each subsequent song also priced at 1 cosmic coin. If you desire to listen to all 100 million songs, the same package deal of 400 cosmic coins applies. This is already the lowest threshold. Please respect intellectual property. I'm mused, if I were to encounter 10 blind cats, that would amount to 4,000 cosmic coins. Far better than the 400 offered by that consultant, Jason. How utterly disheartening. To think he could dismiss me with so little? Has he lost his mind? Very well, handsome sir. We have set the permissions as per your request. Kindly send your banking information through the aforementioned account. Once linked, the company will transfer earnings to you. Shortly, I will have Guang now send you the banking details. Handsome sir, I wish us a pleasant collaboration. Should you have new projects in the future, do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thus, I bid farewell and stepped out of the doors of the Cosmic Cultural Entertainment Company. Lilith, what should I do now that I do not possess a bank card? You can visit the Cosmic Bank in the virtual universe to establish an anonymous account. However, anyone with the account number and password can withdraw funds. And given the numerous powerful individuals in the universe capable of controlling and enslaving others, it is not entirely secure. At present, I am merely a weakling with a combat power of 0.6. Who would bother to enslave me? This arrangement seems quite suitable for my current situation, so I shall proceed with it. Indeed, as you are not in contact with anyone, this anonymous account can later be converted into a real name linked account at any branch of the Cosmic Bank in the real universe. Then let us proceed to open the account. Under Lilith's guidance, Yuan Ming arrived at the virtual universe's Cosmic Bank branch, akin to the Blue Star, where wealth grants access without the need for queuing. Only VIP rooms for the affluent. The less fortunate must endure long waits. After a protracted period, it was finally his turn. The representative assisting him was a blue-skinned alien reminiscent of a character from the Afani world named Simon. They exchanged a few words and answered several questions, resulting in the establishment of his bank card, an anonymous one. This type of account is the most common service offered by banks, considering the vastness of the universe, where bribery, corruption, gifts, and even the highest forms of monetary exchange for lovers and festive red envelopes abound. Hence, the staff were not at all difficult to deal with. In mere minutes, all formalities were completed, and Yuan Ming received his first card as he ventured into the cosmos. Once he obtained the card number, he instructed Lilith to forward it to the Cosmic Cultural Entertainment Company along with the previously mentioned key. This key is exclusively assigned to each individual conducting business. The intelligence system is exceptionally advanced, leaving no room for error. Should a mistake occur, it would indicate betrayal by the system. Chapter 8. Wealth Acquisition. After attending to all matters, I instructed Lilith to keep a vigilant eye on the account balance before exiting the virtual universe. A glance at the clock revealed it was already 7 a.m. Having endured a sleepless night, fatigue overwhelmed me, and it was time to rest. I awoke at 2 p.m., refreshed after a deep slumber. After freshening up, I contacted the front desk, and within 10 minutes, there was a knock at the door. Upon opening it, I found Yu Xiao from yesterday, carrying several boxes of various sizes. Clad in a bathrobe, I stepped forward to take the items, unveiling a new iPhone 15 Pro Max along with a SIM card. I promptly inserted the card, activated the phone, and connected to the wireless network in the presidential suite. Logging into Alipay, I entered my credentials and performed facial recognition to verify my identity. To my dismay, the balance showed a mere 159,110,000. Nearly 900,000 had been expended on the suite over the past 15 days. Yu Xiao, glancing at the balance, was taken aback, simultaneously pondering the disparity in our circumstances despite our similar ages. How wonderful it would be to be his girlfriend. She then presented the bill, amounting to over 35,600. Just as she was about to inform me, I interjected, asking her to send me her Alipay details so I could scan and pay. Oh, very well, she replied, seemingly relieved. With such wealth at my disposal, who would fret over expenses? I retrieved my compact iPhone 13, opened the Alipay payment code, and upon scanning, it displayed a transfer of 40,000. Mr. Yuan, there's no need for such a large sum, she exclaimed. I am aware that your hotel does not provide mobile phones or clothing. This was your initiative. Given the considerable favor you've done for me, please accept it. I loathe being in debt to others, I replied. I will require your assistance again shortly. Please wait a moment, I added, heading directly to the changing room with the clothes. Yu Xiao, wanting to offer an explanation, hesitated but saw I had already turned away. She thought to herself that she must not refuse any further requests for assistance. A few thousand in tips seemed excessive. Typically, I would receive around 100. But this was truly unprecedented, equating to a week's worth of wages. In the changing room of the presidential suite, I examined the boxes, all filled with Gucci attire, t-shirts, shorts, and shoes. No wonder the costs were astronomical. After changing, I gazed at my reflection in the mirror, thinking to myself how dashing I looked. Emerging from the room, I inquired if she could serve as my guide for the day, given my unfamiliarity with Chengdu. Seeing the sincerity in my expression, Yu Xiao's heart raced. How could she possibly refuse? The gentleman appears to have intentions of pursuing me. Should I acquiesce to his advances? If I do, might he perceive me as inexpensive? Conversely, if I decline, could he interpret my refusal as a rejection? This inner turmoil envelopes her. Ultimately, she responds, as a VIP member, I must first consult with our supervisory department. Should they grant their approval, I shall accompany you. Logically, one might deduce that individuals venture out primarily for monetary gain, or perhaps in pursuit of career ambitions or familial obligations. However, within the service industry, the necessity for technical skills is minimal, while the yearning for financial reward is markedly heightened, rendering it virtually impossible to refuse affluent clients. Before Yuan Ming, she promptly contacted her superior for guidance. Unsurprisingly, upon recognizing a client who had previously spent over 900,000, the supervisor granted immediate approval, suggesting she engage further with the client, encouraging him to utilize his card and continue his patronage. Yu Xiao, obliged to comply, informed Yuan Ming of her superior's consent, yet added, please bear with me. I must change into more suitable attire as my work outfit is not appropriate for an outing. Very well, let us exchange WeChat. I shall await you downstairs. As Yuan Ming descended the elevator, he perused Yu Xiao's WeChat moments. Much like many young women, her posts featured whimsical, endearing images of milk tea, desserts, and flowers, revealing a life imbued with sunlight. Dressed in a Gucci short-sleeve shirt, shorts, and shoes, She emanated an inexplicable confidence. After a brief 2-minute wait, he finally encountered Yu Xiao, now in casual attire. The hotel's lighting rendered everyone's skin a uniform hue, yet now, under the sunlight. She donned a white t-shirt and denim shorts that barely covered her thighs, exuding a hint of allure. Her white Converse sneakers complemented her fair skin, where faint blue veins were visible, evoking an irresistible urge to reach out and touch. He swallowed involuntarily, overwhelmed by the moment. Without indulging in excessive conversation, they ascended into a prearranged luxury vehicle. 2 cars this time, a Maybach and a Mercedes-Benz, identical to the one from the previous day. Thus, the two settled into the front car while 2 bodyguards occupied the rear, arriving at a residential development. Yuan Ming sought to purchase a villa. With newfound wealth, he felt compelled not only to indulge himself, but also to provide for his parents, who were nearing 50, having toiled tirelessly to raise him. During the 30-minute drive, he conversed with Yu Xiao, sensing that her values were commendably aligned, deeming her a good person. Of course, from his current perspective, it seemed that all young women possessed admirable qualities, an amusing thought. Upon exiting the vehicle, the quartet proceeded directly to the sales office. Upon entering, the sales staff, noticing 2 individuals accompanied by bodyguards, immediately recognized the arrival of significant clients. A striking young woman approached, appearing to be around 27, with slightly rosy lips and lightly curled hair framing her face, her smile revealing immaculate teeth, truly enchanting. Having acquired wealth, Yuan Ming felt an uncharacteristic confidence swell within him. He found himself drawn to women he once felt intimidated by, igniting an unwelcome yet compelling desire to pursue them. Sir, may I inquire your surname? My surname is Yuan. And may I ask the price of the most expensive villa here? Mr. Yuan, with an air of youthful success, was informed that the priciest villa in this vicinity is priced at 87 million, encompassing a total area of 480 square meters, excluding the garden and swimming pool. Situated at the heart of the community, surrounded by an artificial lake and picturesque landscapes, it faces south and has been evaluated by numerous feng shui masters. Meanwhile, Yuan Ming, engrossed in the sales pitch, was oblivious to the presence of Yu Xiao beside him, who, feeling inferior, retreated to a corner. Gazing at the models of the houses and their prices, 12 million, 28 million, of course, not in yuan, but in 10,000s. The duplex units are slightly more affordable, commencing at 12 million, while the standalone houses are pricier, starting at no less than 25 million. Suddenly, as he turned around, he felt as though he had stepped on someone else's foot. Without even glancing, he hastily apologized. I'm so sorry. Upon closer inspection, he realized it was a woman in her 50s, who, in pain, could scarcely utter a word. Her eyes, however, revealed a hint of jealousy as she surveyed the girl before her, whose attire barely amounted to 780. With a sudden surge of indignation, the older woman began to berate him. What sort of demons are coming to the sales office these days? The cheapest house here costs over 10 million. Can you afford it? You little brat, you stepped on me. Do you even know how much my shoes cost? Can you afford them? Her voice resonated throughout the hall. Yuan Ming, listening to the sales presentation, caught wind of the commotion and swiftly interrupted, striding towards the scene. As he approached, he exclaimed, how can she not afford it? If she can't, I shall buy it for her. Who are you to speak ill of others? Yuan Ming was taken aback that a simple situation had devolved into a scene reminiscent of a movie. Was it possible that he had awakened the skills of a chosen one, with the world revolving around him? Upon noticing Yuan Ming, the older woman saw a young man accompanied by 2 bodyguards approaching, certainly not someone to be trifled with. Nevertheless, she stood her ground, retorting, I advise you to mind your own business. This vixen seems to be no good. Do you really wish to defend her? Yuan Ming, undeterred, shot back, you old hag. She is my fiancée, brought here by me. Can I not care for her? I came here specifically to buy her a house. What about you? Did you earn your money? Or is it all from your husband? Oh, look at you, a young man with quite an attitude. Thinking you can buy her something? You appear to be in your early 20s. How much money could you possibly have to squander on another woman? Spare me the pretense. I detest pretentiousness. Old hag, what if I do buy it for her? If I purchase it today, will you bark like a dog 3 times here on the spot? If I cannot afford it, I shall bark 3 times myself. The older woman, emboldened, declared, listen up, everyone. He claims he will buy it for her, not for himself. I truly do not believe there exists a fool willing to step up and buy a villa for a woman. If you're willing to spend millions, then let me hear you bark 3 times, and I shall concede. Fueled by his disdain for the wealthy, Yuan Ming's temper flared. After all, he had more than enough money, equipped with superior intellect and resources to acquire whatever he desired. Fine, we shall see. Yu Xiao, hand me your ID. Mr. Yuan, let it go. Do not let anger consume you. Do not fall for her tricks. She may very well be a sales agent trying to provoke you. My dear, life is a matter of pride. Quickly hand me your ID. Money is of no concern to me. I simply wish to hear her bark like a dog. If you disregard my request today, do not attempt to contact me again. After a moment's hesitation, I pondered that perhaps he was merely venting his frustrations. I could always return it to him later. Yu Xiao retrieved her ID, and Yuan Ming took it, producing his bank card to hand over to the sales agent. Charge the 28 million for that property, he instructed. At this point, Yuan Ming no longer regarded Blue Star's money as currency. It was merely paper. And he had an abundance of it. His true aspiration now lay in cosmic currency, to transcend Blue Star, for cosmic currency embodies the ultimate truth. In the past, when he lacked funds, he would watch the protagonist flaunt wealth. Today, it was finally his turn, and he would not let this opportunity slip by. Chapter 9. Consumed by her in less than 2 minutes, the sales agent returned with the card and ID. Mr. Yuan, the 28 million has been successfully charged. Here is your card, and the identity information has been duly filled out. I will promptly report to the housing authority for record keeping. The property deed and deed tax will be handled by the company. When Yu Xiao presented her ID, she thought he was merely assisting her, playing along, and would not take it seriously. However, she was utterly astonished to see the vast sum in his Alipay account, not to mention the substantial amount in his bank card. Seemingly for her benefit. What if I take this and do not return it? Does he trust me so much? Is he being so earnest in this charade? Lu Luan, having been a sales agent for 3 years, was witnessing such extravagance for the first time, a direct charge of 28 million. This deal would yield a 2 commission. Although she had not personally negotiated it, she had brought the client in, allowing her to claim 1 for herself. Another 1 would be shared among her 5 team members. Yet, even her portion amounted to over 100,000 in performance bonuses, enough to sustain her for half a year. If she could sell the recently discussed 87 million property, she would earn at least 5, with 1 going to the group and 4 to herself, over 5 million. The thought alone was exhilarating. The saleswoman was instantly taken aback, quickly realizing the situation and fleeing faster than anyone else. Yuan Ming was left astonished. Hey, you scoundrel! How can you lack integrity like that? I haven't even heard her bark yet. Today's endeavor was merely to indulge in joy. As a modern-day exemplary youth, Yuan Ming aimed to save face without delving deeper. After all, money to him was akin to mere paper, inconsequential. Unbeknownst to him, Yuan Ming's perspective had significantly evolved. A twisted mind is often a product of a distorted environment, yet Yuan Ming was not aberrant. The more one dwells in the lower echelons, the darker their heart becomes. Violence and cruelty permeate their existence, labeling the so-called aberration as gratification. He possessed abundant wealth, and his bodyguards were formidable, as long as he and his family remained unharmed. Nothing else mattered to Yuan Ming. In just a few minutes, everyone had retreated into their respective thoughts, losing the will to continue discussing. Yuan Ming grasped Yu Xiao's hand, preparing to leave. Mr. Yuan, I am Lu Luan. Please provide your contact information. I will deliver the documents to you once they are ready. So soon? Our company has established a swift connection with the government office. So how do you feel about that villa priced at 87 million? Are you satisfied? Yuan Ming gazed at the young woman before him, a surge of heat coursing through him. He initially intended to express his satisfaction, but was suddenly struck by another thought. He then left his contact details and address, requesting that they be sent over shortly. The villa matter could be discussed another time. Amidst the sales team's cheerful farewells, he departed with Yu Xiao and 2 bodyguards. They stopped at a nearby 4S dealership, roughly 300 meters away, to purchase a Panamera. The male salesperson made the transaction straightforward, concluding with a payment. In the car, Yu Xiao clenched her hands tightly, seemingly wanting to convey something, yet words eluded her. They returned to the hotel around 5:20 p.m. Yu Xiao went off to work while Yuan Ming indulged in a complimentary seafood buffet at the hotel. The spread included abalone, Australian lobster, Buddha jumps over the wall soup, and oysters. He savored it all. The presidential suite included buffet access, and even if he wasted some, he dared not voice any complaints. Upon returning to his room, he glanced at the panel that displayed his information. Name, Yuan Ming. Race, Aryan from the undeveloped. Unknown planet. Blue Star. Brain development 6, average of the galactic nation 60, combat power 06, average of the galactic nation 50, level weak. Below standard cultivation method, none. Life limit 2284. Occupation, none. Other information, none. Wealth 21. 3 billion renminbi. Surveying his feeble combat power left him at a loss for words. Yet he understood there was little that could be done. Cultivating techniques were not easily accessible in the universe. Blood analysis and genetic testing were necessary to determine a suitable cultivation method and genetic enhancement fluid. Physical constitution was crucial, and one could not rush. Sharpening the axe does not delay the work of chopping wood. First, he needed to accumulate some wealth. Then place an order with a virtual universe company to handle his blood samples. He desired a fitting cultivation technique and genetic enhancement fluid. Everyone yearns for longevity. To live for 1,000 or even 10,000 years, and to grow stronger, yet such aspirations are fraught with impossibilities. Despite the abundant cosmic energy permeating the universe, including Earth, no Aryan had succeeded in harnessing and converting it. Hence, strength comes with wealth and patience. At 8 p.m., there was a knock at the door. Yuan Ming opened it to find sales representative Lu Luan at his doorstep. Her attire instantly ignited a wave of desire within him. "Mr. Yuan, here is the property deed for the villa you just purchased. May I come in for a moment?" She wore a short, fitted skirt paired with large netted stockings and a professional outfit above. Her thin lips, double eyelids, and hair styled with curls framing her face emitted a captivating charm that was utterly tempting. To be honest, it was the first time he found himself unable to look away from a woman, but her inviting demeanor left Yuan Ming somewhat entranced, prompting him to step aside and let her in. Lu Luan, unfazed by the opulence of his presidential suite, sauntered over to the bar and helped herself to a bottle of red wine. "Shall I keep you company for a couple of drinks? I'm afraid tonight may not allow you to leave, but it is indeed a rare delight to be in the company of such a beautiful person. It is my honor to share a drink with an exceptional man like you." After sharing a few words, I poured 2 glasses of red wine, handing one to Yuan Ming while intertwining my hand with his, and we partook in a toast, an act laden with intimacy. Subsequently, we set our glasses down, gazing into each other's eyes, drawing ever closer until our lips met in a passionate French kiss. Yuan Ming felt nearly suffocated by her fervor. In an unexpected turn, as our garments fell away, I jested about the possibility of pregnancy, assuring him that I am more than capable of providing for such a future. Here, I must omit a vast expanse of narrative. In this realm, time has flown by, and I must ensure that I am prepared for any unforeseen circumstances that may arise. After a considerable time, I found myself reclining on the bed, her fingers tracing circles on my chest, a sensation most pleasurable. Indeed, a mature woman brings forth delights unknown in youth. I have come to understand this through experience. Suddenly, a series of knocks at the door startled Yuan Ming, prompting him to regain his composure. The gentle knocking suggested it was a woman, perhaps someone there to clean. A minute later, the door creaked open, revealing a surprise. How could one enter so casually into a presidential suite? He hastily concealed Lu Luan's clothes and shoes beneath the bed, returning to his position on the bed in mere seconds. He tucked Lu Luan beneath the covers, arranging pillows to obscure her presence. Observing the surroundings, he felt confident she would not be discovered. The bed was too soft to reveal any hidden forms. The presidential suite was indeed spacious, and the newcomer approached slowly. After a few moments, a girl quietly entered the bedroom, her eyes meeting Yuan Ming's. To his astonishment, it was Yu Xiao. As she noticed the figure lying on the bed, her cheeks flushed, and she internally chastised herself for the implications of the scene before her. She swiftly turned, asserting, "Don't think too much of it. I merely came to inform you that I have no intention of claiming your villa. While I do have an affinity for wealth, it is limited to what I earn through my own labor." As Yu Xiao spoke, Lu Luan remained unperturbed beneath the covers, oblivious to the conversation unfolding. The tension was palpable, given that the girl standing before him remained unaware of the hidden presence. What a thrilling predicament. Alas, one cannot escape the fact that I am, after all, a man. Chapter 10. The fifth element soared to unexpected heights of success. Yu Xiao, if there is something to discuss, let us do so tomorrow. I am utterly exhausted and yearn only for rest. Yu Xiao could only watch in disbelief as her impassioned speech fell upon ears that seemed to drift into slumber, leaving her to ponder the nature of her misunderstanding. With a heart heavy with confusion and a touch of disappointment, she slowly exited the room. After Yu Xiao left, Lu Luan was restless from 10 p.m. until 3 a.m., exhausting herself both physically and mentally, leaving her utterly drained and struggling to keep her eyes open. She felt as though she had been completely wrung out. Alas, what a relentless ordeal. Subsequently, Lu Luan gently kissed Yuan Ming on the cheek, uttered a few heartfelt words of affection, and then turned to depart. In the realm of adults, there are unspoken understandings. It seems that the funds for this villa are unlikely to be saved. Fast forward to July 9th, 2023, Yuan Ming slept soundly until 1 p.m. Upon awakening, still in a daze, he was confronted by Lilith, who inquired, "Do you know how much money you currently possess?" Yuan Ming, bewildered by the question, replied, 1 billion renminbi. Wrong. It's 165,356,003 universe coins. What? Where did this over 100 million universe coins come from? I had no idea. Yuan Ming. Your ancient poetry has sold for over 50 million universe coins, and your music has garnered 1 billion universe coins. Just check the bill, and you'll see. Yuan Ming hastily examined the data and discovered that the most viewed poems were to the oak tree, First Love, As Long as We Loved Once, and Must You Leave? Astonishingly, To the Oak Tree had surpassed 3 billion views. Most of those who spent 400 universe coins to purchase the complete set of extraterrestrial items were initially drawn in by these poems. It appears that in the vast expanse of the universe, all sentient beings with souls and genders possess an intense yearning for love within the realm of spiritual civilization. They may never truly comprehend what an oak tree is, yet the love expressed in the poetry resonates deeply, enriching their souls. Conversely, the click-through rates for ancient poetry were relatively low. Unfortunately, many of the convoluted characters are not even fully grasped by the Chinese themselves. They recite them out loud merely for the sake of learning, believing that fluency equates to understanding, while deeper analysis and interpretation can reveal the essence and cultural significance. They remain unpresentable, even to foreigners sharing the same blue planet, let alone being separated by light years. The music statistics were even more astonishing. The song Fifth Element dominated the charts, raking in 70 million universe coins. Initially available for free due to copyright issues. Sharing it with others incurs a fee of 1 universe coin, indicating that it has been shared 70 million times. Meanwhile, the Han Dynasty song Anxiety also made its mark, with over 10 million shares and earnings exceeding 10 million universe coins. Following closely were To Alice and Moonlight, among others. Yuan Ming couldn't help but wonder why all these popular songs lacked lyrics. Did these individuals simply enjoy humming randomly? How could Fifth Element, a song he hadn't even heard, become such a sensation? Furthermore, the figures continued to climb. Within mere minutes, it surged by an additional 100,000 universe coins. Truly absurd beyond measure. What a preposterous situation. Fortunately, I did not sell the golden egg-laying hen for a mere 400 cosmic coins. The urgency of the Supreme Lord and the blessings of the Primordial Celestial Master have favored me. Upon receiving the congratulatory message in my email, I discovered that I had ascended to the rank of Silver Writer at the Cosmic Cultural Music and Entertainment Company. Yuan Ming meticulously examined their categorization system, which can be roughly translated into the tiers of the blue planet: black iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, sovereign, and supreme. They have certainly profited handsomely. With a 20 commission, they still retain 1.6 billion. Truly remarkable. Lilith, with the funds I possess now, can I indulge in some expenditures? Could you devise a comprehensive training regimen for me? Very well. Based on the available resources, your lineage shares similarities within the cosmos, though it cannot achieve a perfect match. You may invest 20 million in a virtual cosmic company to establish a bespoke lineage training methodology for blue planet inhabitants. Given the current market, this is quite reasonable. Unlike the nascent universe, where practitioners were scarce and research was limited, we now find ourselves in the zenith of the cosmos, where such lineage training methods have matured and can achieve a compatibility rate of 99.99. Once you acquire the blue planet, you could implant control chips within their minds. Should they attempt to flee, the chips would detonate, ensuring even a 9th-tier cosmic powerhouse would meet their demise. Subsequently, you could package and sell stellar and cosmic entities to slave traders, recovering your investment in mere centuries, thereby incurring no actual expense. Lilith, cease. Do not mention this matter again. Remember, I speak only once. The blue planet is my birthplace and nurturer, in the grand scheme of the universe. A galaxy with a diameter of 2 million light-years is but a grain of sand. If we were to distribute 6 billion people across various star systems, it would not suffice. Encountering someone from the same planet in the cosmos is far more challenging than meeting a fellow countryman on Mars. Thus, all inhabitants of the blue planet constitute one family. I shall never betray any of my kin. Mark my words, any of them. However, those apes are indolent, foul-smelling, and prefer a life of zero-cost indulgence, akin to animals in heat, truly revolting. While I shall not sell them, I will ensure they are relocated to other planets to cultivate bananas. They shall receive no spaceships, nor opportunities to interact with other races, allowing them to ultimately perish. Yuan Ming, I never anticipated your profound sense of loyalty. In the cosmos, many families and bloodlines harbor treachery. You have indeed opened my eyes. I merely aim to elucidate the laws of the universe to help you better comprehend this world. Do not take the matters concerning the blue planet to heart. Lilith quickly clarified. Very well, Lilith, I hold no grievances against you. In my heart, you are akin to a mentor, guiding me into the realm of cosmic civilization and affording me the chance to become powerful. This 6 billion could cultivate a cosmic powerhouse in another star domain. However, this would come at the cost of depleting their potential. Reaching the level of a realm master would be significantly more arduous, and some may never ascend. I shall bestow upon you the most exquisite and unparalleled method of cultivation with these 5 billion cosmic coins. I have already placed the order for you. You may examine it at your leisure. As for the remaining 10 million, you may await the stellar level to proceed to the jurisdiction of the White Cloud Empire to supplement your nationality information, thereby acquiring the status of an explorer with the privilege of priority, purchasing rights to the Blue Planet. The screen displays 4 categories of items available for purchase: energy-related items, various crystals, energy ores, including 300 wood buds, priced at 10,000 cosmic coins each, 2,000 millennium wood hearts, at 1,000 cosmic coins each, and 1,000 10,000 year wood hearts, at 2,000 cosmic coins each, totaling 7 million cosmic coins. Additionally, there are 3,000 grams of purple light dew, priced at 10 cosmic coins per gram, with 10 grams capable of aiding individuals with weaker constitutions to reach the apprentice level of cultivation. If consumed alongside the millennium and 10,000-year wood hearts, a gentle breakthrough can be assured. The descriptions of these treasures quickened Yuan Ming's heartbeat with excitement. He has also ordered 10 cosmic level 8 slave bodyguards, each costing 6 million cosmic coins, primarily out of concern that the chips may not be able to exert control over them. For cosmic level 9 powerhouses, a breakthrough to domain master could occur at any moment, rendering the chips ineffective. Until one becomes a domain master, it is unwise to recklessly acquire such uncontrollable threats. Furthermore, he has commissioned a Traveler Y9988 model spaceship, crafted from pure C-grade metal, allowing for discreet travel without exposing his E-grade spaceship. After all, discretion and wealth is a traditional virtue of the Chinese. The universe is vast, with many nefarious individuals lurking. He has also customized a Pioneer YB30012 model villa made from C-grade material. Although referred to as a villa, it spans 25 kilometers in length and width, resembling a grand estate. The very soil within the estate is of A-grade material, capable of cultivating food imbued with cultivation energy. Though this is merely C-grade material, no weapon on Earth can currently breach it, unless one were to painstakingly grind it down like diamonds with a water jet, which would consume an inordinate amount of time. By the time one manages to open the grand door, the spaceship would have already fled to another galaxy. Inside the estate, there are numerous quantum weapons, the power of which rivals that of a stellar level 9 powerhouse's attack. Given the vast area of the villa, the required materials are exceedingly substantial. Hence the price is several times that of the spaceship. The spaceship costs just over 300,000 cosmic coins, while the estate has cost over 7 million. This is essential for all explorers in unfamiliar galaxies, capable of being folded and relocated. While it may serve a similar purpose to a 10 on Earth, the quality is entirely incomparable, and one hopes it proves to be a worthy investment. Regarding the gene evolution liquid and cultivation techniques, it is imperative to extract 100 milliliters of blood and submit it to the virtual universe company's spaceship delivering the items, as they must return it to the branch. This is necessary for the research and creation of evolution liquids and techniques suitable for Earth's bloodlines. After all, the previous purchases were merely energy, lacking any cultivation methodologies. The initial cost for the evolution liquid is 20 million cosmic coins, inclusive of research expenses. The second instance proved to be exponentially cheaper, as mass production became feasible. One merely needed to double the investment or cover material costs. The cultivation method would only emerge after the gene evolution liquid, necessitating thorough research into bloodlines, bones, and absorption issues. Chapter 11. Capturing Yushao. Currently, Yuan Ming resembled a 3-year-old child possessing a nameless bank card containing 200 billion RMB. Whoever obtained it would claim it as their own, thus he felt a constant sense of trepidation. Cautiously, he glanced at the panel displaying his information. Name: Yuan Ming. Race: Wasteland Alien, Undeveloped. Unknown Planet Earth. Brain Domain Development 6. Cosmic Nation Average 60. Combat Power 06. Cosmic Nation Average 50. Level: Weak Physique. Not noteworthy. Cultivation Method: None. Life Limit 2284. Career Information: None. Other Information: None. Wealth. Earth Currency: 21. 3 billion renminbi. Cosmic Currency: 16,032. 865 units. Having spent nearly 1.5 billion cosmic currency without a hint of regret, Yuan Ming understood that life and power belonged solely to him. All efforts were aimed at enhancing his strength, which was indeed worthwhile. After rising and completing his morning routine, it was already afternoon. This late rising had become a daily norm, but he realized it was not ideal. However, with no job to attend to, there were few tasks to occupy his mornings. Thus, he found himself at his usual spot, indulging in a buffet, only to encounter Yu Xiao once more. He couldn't quite comprehend whether she worked the day or night shift, as it seemed she spent all her time in the hotel. Yet, he refrained from delving into it. Truthfully, maintaining several women posed no financial strain for him. Yuan Ming's childhood aspiration was simply to have enough to eat. In contrast to other young men who dreamed of acquiring thousands or even trillions, purchasing planes, yachts, land, and buildings, he found such ambitions rather uninteresting. 20 billion was already ample for expenditure. He often heard tales of beggars being asked how they would live if they became emperors, to which they replied they would eat 5 buns daily, discarding 5. He believed that those who viewed money as worthless were merely limited by their poverty. Reality was far more nuanced. Everyone had different interests and capabilities. Yuan Ming, come here. I have something to tell you. Yu Xiao approached, her expression grave. The current Yuan Ming was no longer the same as before. Unless the blue star were to explode in a second, nothing could astonish him now. Nevertheless, upon observing her demeanor, he hastened over, disregarding how others perceived him, yet mindful of their thoughts. What is it, Xiao? I am seriously telling you that I do not want the villa. We are not suitable. Our friendship is already tenuous at best. Your status is noble, while I am merely a working girl. He would have preferred to let the matter rest. But her words instantly reminded him that the villa had already been purchased. Perhaps he should woo her instead. She appeared so neat and tidy. Even her clothes seemed well worn, indicating she was undoubtedly a diligent and frugal girl. Winning her affection would not be a loss. In truth, Yuan Ming had long desired to shed his single status and find a daughter-in-law for his parents. In the past, he refrained from indulgence due to financial constraints. But now that he had wealth, he pondered the delights of living freely. He boldly declared, Yu Xiao, if it is due to your status, rest assured that I am not that kind of person. I adhere to a singular principle. I never consider wealth when forging friendships. Regardless of whether you possess 100 or 1 billion, in my eyes, they hold equal value. I have affections for you. Let us be together. This villa shall serve as a token of my affection. Should there come a day when my love for you wanes, it may not be the most splendid gift, yet it will undoubtedly be what you need most. Many may perceive confessing feelings upon first meeting as hasty or awkward, yet in truth, it is the most effective approach. Observe the practices in developed nations. 2 individuals share a drink. A confession leads to intimacy, and by the following day, they are a couple. The initial interactions often present the most tumultuous emotions. If the other person leaves an indelible impression, there is little time for contemplation or refusal. The mind becomes a whirlwind of confusion, leading to an instinctive agreement. In contrast, prolonged acquaintance often results in rejections, as one's flaws are well known, merely unspoken due to social niceties. At that moment, faced with Yuan Ming's heartfelt words, tears streamed down Yu Xiao's face. She lamented the loss of her parents. Wondering if they had possessed a home, could they have exchanged it for organs, preventing their untimely deaths? Why had fate dealt her such a cruel hand? Only to offer what she needed most after she had lost everything? Her tears flowed more abundantly as she trembled, saying, You know nothing. You understand nothing. I too yearn for a sincere love, to share a life with someone I cherish. Yet, I find it unattainable. At the age of 14, I lost my father to uremia, and by 16, my mother succumbed to liver cancer. In just 2 years, all my loved ones departed from my life. Furthermore, doctors have informed me that there is an over 80% chance of inheriting my parents' ailments. I may not see my 30th birthday, perhaps not even my 20th. You know nothing. Your wealth can purchase everything. Life, love, time. Yet I am merely an ordinary person, devoid of anything. We exist in entirely different worlds. You need not concern yourself with me. Regardless, my time is limited. You may leave, or I shall. As she spoke, tears cascaded from her fair face to her chin, falling at an alarming rate. Yuan Ming, witnessing her profound sorrow, felt a wave of empathy wash over him. Yu Xiao, I am indifferent to others' opinions or your thoughts. All I know is that I wish to be with my beloved, even if for a fleeting moment, even if the world crumbles around us. In the twilight of your life, I wish to be the one by your side, whether it be for a day or a year. To others, uremia and liver cancer may be deemed terminal, but to me, they merely present an opportunity. With the right means, genetic evolution fluid, crystals, millennia-old wood essence, one can achieve rebirth, as long as there remains the faintest breath of life. Yu Xiao, you must tell me. I genuinely wish to spend my remaining days with you, to accompany you through the final chapters of life. Would you consider being my girlfriend? What ill intentions could a 19-year-old girl possibly harbor? With a playful smile, he cradled Yu Zhao's face in his hands, gently wiping away her tears with his thumbs, gazing earnestly into her eyes as he posed the question. At this juncture, Yu Zhao averted her gaze, yet her lips, in a sincere whisper, uttered the two words of consent, growing softer with each syllable. Yuan Ming immediately embraced her tightly. I do not wish for you to squander your precious time on work. Resign today and journey with me to witness the stars and the vast ocean to the ends of the earth. Until this moment, Yu Zhao believed he was merely speaking metaphorically, unaware that they would indeed venture to the stars and the ocean's expanse. Let me think it over. I will give you my answer by tomorrow morning. Ah, but you are my girlfriend now, so you cannot deceive me. In a moment of irritation, Yu Zhao playfully struck Yuan Ming twice before turning away, promising to discuss it further the next day. Watching her retreating figure, he couldn't help but smile in satisfaction. The emotional debt was finally settled. Lilith, when can I expect the delivery? I cannot bear the thought of my darling succumbing to cancer. The galaxy coordinates have been filled out for a planet in the neighboring star system. The delivery will arrive in no more than 3 days. You simply need to board the Wukong spacecraft to reach the collection point in just 5 minutes from Earth. Rest assured, the settings configured by the Master will prevent detection. Only F-class or higher vessels can identify Blue Star within the vicinity of the current star. As long as the courier is not aboard an F-class vessel, Blue Star will remain undetected. That is reassuring. You are a super intelligent AI. How could there be any mistakes? I was unduly concerned. With a relieved heart, Yuan Ming, accompanied by 2 bodyguards, returned to the sales office, where he was greeted by the delighted figure of Lu Luan, who approached him with a joyful stride. Throughout their interaction, they exchanged glances filled with unspoken understanding, teasing one another, before completing the transaction and departing under Lu Luan's courteous farewell. That evening, much like the previous night, she would bring over the property deed, igniting a fervent anticipation within him. As Yuan Ming sat in the car, he contemplated that while it was manageable to traverse various locations daily, once he began his cultivation, he could not afford to personally oversee every task. He needed someone to assist him with these tedious matters, especially since he still had land and mountains to purchase and a sect to establish. Upon returning to his presidential suite, Yuan Ming awaited Lu Luan's knock for 2 hours. When she finally arrived, he ushered her in, and the cycle of life and battle resumed with even greater intensity. Midway through, Lu Luan found herself parched, having to drink several glasses of water to regain her composure before they resumed their spirited engagement. This night, there would be no departure. After their fervent battle, they fell asleep entwined until dawn. Chapter 12. The Universe. Lu Luan, you should resign from your job and come with me. I need you. Why do you say that? I am merely a salesperson. Aside from pleasing you, I possess no other skills. I wish to embark on numerous endeavors, yet I lack a trustworthy companion. Though you are a salesperson, your worldly experience surpasses mine. I need you to be my secretary. Help me with the tasks I wish to avoid, and I will offer you an annual salary of 10 million. Lu Luan nestled against Yuan Ming's chest and playfully inquired, does this imply you are financially supporting me? An annual salary of 10 million is rather enticing. In light of that, I shall reluctantly consent. Today, I shall resign from my job. Moreover, I must inform you that I am a married woman. Although I am not yet divorced, it is imminent. My daughter is already 6 years old. And to make ends meet, I must don a touch of green. It is no wonder my romantic escapades are so proficient and instinctual. After all, I am a wife. Nevertheless, it matters not, for I am the one who deceives others, not the other way around. My heart finally feels at ease. At least I have a capable ally to assist me. After rising and freshening up, I bid farewell to Lu Luan and called Yu Zhao, arranging for her to be picked up by a bodyguard driving a Palamara. Half an hour later, I met Yu Zhao. After exchanging pleasantries, we proceeded to purchase an Alpha. As there were too many items to fit comfortably in the Palamara, we wandered through the global center, Chuanxi Road, Wanda, and Taiku Li, acquiring over 3 million worth of goods, clothing, shoes, watches for my parents, my own change of attire, and an assortment of other items. With the trunk filled to the brim, we also occupied the Alpha's trunk completely. At 8 p.m., we enjoyed a meal together before I escorted her home, reminding her to prepare her belongings for our journey tomorrow. Yu Zhao did not inquire further. She had already entrusted her life and fortune to me unconditionally. Later that evening, upon returning to the presidential suite, I called 2 close friends to check in with them before inspecting all my possessions. Name, Yuan Ming. Race, arid star people, an undeveloped, unknown planet, Blue Star. Brain development, 6. The average in the cosmic nation is 60. Combat power, 0.6. The average in the cosmic nation is 50. Level, weak constitution, below par. Cultivation technique, none. Life limit, 2284. Occupational information, none. Other information, none. Financial status, Earth currency, 21. 3 billion renminbi. Cosmic currency, 2. 8 billion. Lilith, how did you suddenly amass 8 billion? Lilith crossed her arms and disdainfully replied, you simply stumbled upon a fortunate coincidence. The ancient poetry and music you uploaded have gone viral. The music alone has sold for 5 billion, while the poetry is somewhat weaker, only fetching over 20 million. The primary sources of income are from The Fifth Element, Croatian Rhapsody, Symphony of Fate, Turkish March, Adelia by the Water, and Wedding in a Dream. I must admit, your planet possesses remarkable musical talent. Among the countless races and diverse forms of music in the universe, very few manage to create melodies that transcend their planet or galaxy. This is due to the differences in race and customs. Each individual has their own preferences. Just as you enjoy rice, other races may prefer sticky foods resembling paste. Of the over 100 million pieces you created, only about 200 have garnered clicks and purchases, the rest remain unsold. Yet, one successful piece is sufficient to sustain you for a lifetime. I never anticipated such a delightful surprise. Pray tell, what is the market value of these 200-odd pieces? It is known that the measurement units on Blue Star are 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, and billion, with the largest being trillion. However, the measurement units in the universe are far grander. The vastness of the universe can be likened to an initial condition. After all, within a single galaxy, planets teeming with life abound. Even in your own Milky Way, which spans a mere 2 million light-years, there exist over 6,000 stars, yielding more than 20,000 life-bearing planets. However, the majority of these worlds resemble your own blue planet, being largely untamed and harboring civilizations of modest advancement. The formidable beings behind these planets treat them as personal possessions, concealing them from the inhabitants and restricting their exposure to the cosmos. From a macrocosmic perspective, the universe appears tranquil, governed by cosmic nations with imperial laws in place. Beneath these, the laws of member states apply. Yet, on a microcosmic scale, the dark laws are ubiquitous. The universe proliferates rapidly, and the longevity of its powerful beings spans hundreds of millions, if not billions, of years, giving rise to new life-bearing planets. In the pursuit of profit, those who discover such worlds often seek to claim them. Without the status of a citizen in an empire or member state, one is susceptible to enslavement, as imperial and member state laws only safeguard citizens, leaving those without identity unprotected. Thus, it is imperative to swiftly depart from the blue planet and secure your identity. Otherwise, should it come to the attention of others, the risk of enslavement looms. In the grand scheme of the universe, the unit of 100 million is trivial. True power resides in realms beyond immortality, where units transform into 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, and so forth. As far as I know, the illustrious Lei family possesses wealth quantified in quintillions, sufficient to acquire hundreds of cosmic nations. Even the esteemed lords of the universe must show deference to the patriarch of their family, yet no one dares to sell a cosmic nation. For the sovereigns are elected by the highest council of humanity, and their positions are permanent, barring death. As I listened, my brow furrowed further. I had thought Musk's trillion-dollar fortune was the pinnacle, yet it pales in comparison. Is it truly that exaggerated? A cosmic nation comprises between 500 and 2,000 empires. Assuming the latter, with each of these empires containing 500 to 2,000 member states, and taking an upper limit of 2,000 states, each boasting a maximum of 2,000 star systems. This results in an astounding figure of 360 trillion planets. Does it not? Lilith, in the expansive 2 million light-years of the Milky Way, there are merely 20,000 life-bearing planets. There are galaxies far larger, tenfold, hundredfold, or even thousandfold in size, with some harboring millions of life-bearing worlds. Thus, your calculation of 360 trillion is erroneous. Upon hearing Lilith's explanation, I felt as though I had fallen into a misconception. If we were to consider merely the human domain, with 36,000 cosmic nations, all belonging to a single race, what of the other races? The scale is truly immense, rendering us remarkably insignificant. The universe is indeed wondrous. Hence, one must strive onward. With so little wealth, who can afford to spend it? Forge ahead, young one. Chapter 13. Before the retrieval today, Yuan Ming has a task of utmost importance. He must return to his hometown to inspect the venue. The villa designated for this occasion is nothing short of grand, sprawling across a staggering area of 25 square kilometers. With such an expansive territory, Yuan Ming is acutely aware that upon his return, he must meticulously select an exquisite location for its placement. As the first light of dawn gently graced the earth, Yuan Ming awakened from his slumber. After completing his morning rituals, he appeared invigorated and brimming with vitality. Subsequently, he departed from the hotel accompanied by two imposing, robust, and formidable bioengineered bodyguards. There was no need for Yuan Ming to concern himself with the mundane task of checking out, for the superintelligent AI, Lilith, would adeptly and autonomously manage all such affairs, ensuring everything was impeccably arranged. It is essential to note that Lilith, this exceptional AI, is far from ordinary. It not only exhibits outstanding performance and capabilities on Earth, but also stands as an extraordinary entity within the vast cosmos. To say that there are virtually no secrets on Blue Star that can elude Lilith's scrutiny would not be an exaggeration, should she desire. She could manipulate everything on Blue Star at will, controlling the two bodyguards, meticulously crafted from the exceedingly rare E-grade material and possessing the power of a realm master. Is child's play for Lilith. As the master of these two formidable bodyguards, Yuan Ming occasionally feels a twinge of embarrassment when contemplating the vast disparity in strength between himself and them. After all, compared to their prowess, his own capabilities seem almost insignificant, akin to being unable to match even a single hair on their legs. Before long, a sleek Panamera and a luxurious Alpha swiftly navigated the city streets. Shortly thereafter, they successfully picked up Yushao. The vehicle then continued its relentless journey toward the residential complex where Lu Luan resided. At the entrance of Lu Luan's community, the car patiently waited for over 10 minutes. Finally, Lu Luan's graceful figure emerged into view, to the delight of onlookers. Remarkably, she was accompanied by a charming 6-year-old girl. The little girl sported a pastel pink backpack and held a dainty pink suitcase, perfectly sized at 30 by 30. Her cherubic features were irresistibly adorable, evoking an overwhelming urge to pinch her chubby cheeks. Beside Lu Luan lay several pieces of luggage of varying sizes. Upon seeing them, Yuan Ming greeted them warmly. The little girl, unperturbed by the unfamiliarity, sweetly called out uncle in a melodious voice that resonated like celestial music, filling Yuan Ming with joy. Observing this, Lu Luan promptly instructed the two bodyguards to assist with the luggage, while Yuan Ming, with a beaming smile, took it upon himself to cradle the little girl in his arms. The child nestled comfortably against him, exhibiting no signs of fear or hesitation, simply finding solace in his embrace. The little girl exuded a delightful sweetness reminiscent of candy, intertwined with a subtle hint of creaminess. This distinctive aroma only deepened Yuan Ming's fondness for Lu Luan. When Yushao and Lu Luan met, Yuan Ming promptly introduced them to each other. Yushao was his secretary, while Lu Luan was his girlfriend. At the tender age of 19, Yushao possessed an innocent disposition. Upon noticing that Lu Luan had a daughter, she refrained from overthinking or speculating. Lu Luan, on the other hand, accepted the fact that Yuan Ming had a girlfriend with equanimity. After all, she already had a daughter, and concerns regarding social status no longer troubled her as they once had in her youth. The journey ahead unfolded in serene tranquility, with Lilith assisting in coordination. Two bodyguards served as drivers, each responsible for a vehicle. There was no need for anxiety regarding driving licenses. We have entered the era of electronic documentation. By merely providing an identification number, the superintelligent Lilith could swiftly generate the requisite license information within a mere second, deftly circumventing any potential issues. Unlike the dramatic and exaggerated narratives filled with jealousy and intrigue, where bizarre incidents unfolded daily, ranging from bar brawls to large-scale family mergers and malicious corporate sabotage, Yuan Ming had always been a grounded individual, pursuing a life of simplicity. His existence followed a steady, conventional path, devoid of the peculiar and distressing disruptions that might derail his rhythm and plans. Eventually, after their journey, they arrived in Tongjiang County, Yuan Ming's hometown. The two vehicles came to a gentle halt in front of the Kaiyuan Hotel. Upon seeing the luxurious and impressive cars, the hotel staff presumed a major celebrity had arrived and warmly welcomed the group of 6. Once everyone was settled, Yuan Ming treated them to a delectable array of local specialties, which left everyone thoroughly satisfied. Subsequently, the group returned to their respective rooms, as the following day marked an important occasion, necessitating ample preparation. For ordinary folk, this meant a good night's rest to replenish their energy, as well as arriving early at the designated location to patiently await the arrival of the delivery personnel. Yuan Ming once again activated the control panel before him. Name: Yuan Ming. Race: Arid Star people from the uncharted planet Blue Star. Brain development: 6, well below the cosmic average of 60. Combat power: 0.6, below the cosmic average of 50. Level: fragile and unremarkable. Techniques: none. Life limit: 2284. Career information, none. Other information, none. Currency, Blue Star coins, 212, 814, 855. Renminbi, Cosmic coins, 86, 028, 085. Observing the increase in his account balance, Yuan Ming couldn't help but chuckle with delight. This income is indeed quite impressive. Perhaps I should seize the opportunity to acquire some items to enrich my resources and assets. Although Blue Star is a picturesque planet, abundant in resources, a sudden thought struck him. He did not wish to remain on Earth any longer. He envisioned a grand plan to relocate his headquarters to Mars. In Yuan Ming's heart, Blue Star, as his home planet, deserved to remain undisturbed in its tranquil and harmonious ecological environment. Thus, he deemed it sufficient to leave behind a villa on Blue Star, returning occasionally to reside there. As for the distance between Mars and Blue Star, Yuan Ming believed it was not a matter of great concern. With advanced spacecraft as a means of transportation, traveling between Mars and Blue Star would be as effortless as a leisurely outing. Lilith, please assist me in devising practical methods to transform Mars. I wish to construct a luxurious palace exclusively for myself. Yet I do not want to cause any harm or disruption to Blue Star's ecological balance. Yuan Ming inquired with great anticipation. Certainly. I will compile a detailed list of what you require immediately. Subsequently, Yuan Ming accessed the online shopping platform of the Virtual Universe Corporation. Chapter 14. Arrival at the pickup point. In an instant, the screen before him displayed a dazzling array of products, the diversity rivaling that of a bustling online shopping platform. The webpage showcased the Alpha Company of the White Orchid Empire G11230 series castles, featuring popular models such as 1551, 1634, 2517, and 3546. The Knot Company of the White Orchid Empire F13500 series manors, with favorites including 5435, 2945, 3454, and 6468. The Martin Company of the White Orchid Empire J4388185 series. The Lonling Company of the Silver Orchid Empire A11322 series, and the Wuwei Company of the Qianghai Empire G44511 series. Thousands of varied products dazzled the eye and overwhelmed the senses. After a thorough selection and comparison, Yuan Ming concluded that the Class C manor best suited his current needs. Ultimately, the original plan was to construct a grand estate. If the level were too low, it would necessitate continuous updates and upgrades, which would indeed be quite troublesome. Therefore, establishing a C-level estate as a transitional phase is a remarkably prudent choice. According to the knowledge and experience imparted to him by Lilith, a C-level estate is considered quite commendable even within the vast expanse of the galaxy. After a lengthy and meticulous deliberation lasting half an hour, Yuan Ming finally resolved to purchase the J43881850015 series estate from Martin Corporation. This unique circular estate boasts an astonishing diameter of 35 kilometers. Towering walls, standing at an impressive height of 25 meters, serve as a formidable barrier, safeguarding everything within the estate. Upon entering the estate, one finds that the living area, breeding zone, entertainment section, and other designated areas are all well organized and clearly defined. The living quarters are fully equipped with various amenities, providing a warm and comfortable living space alongside efficient and convenient facilities that evoke a sense of ease and comfort. The breeding zone, with its spacious grounds, advanced breeding equipment, and scientific management systems, offers excellent conditions for the growth and propagation of various flora and fauna. The entertainment section is replete with a myriad of recreational facilities, catering to both exhilarating competitive activities and relaxing leisure pursuits, thus enriching the enjoyment and possibilities of one's leisure time. To acquire this fully functional and well-equipped estate, Yuan Ming expended a total of 2 billion cosmic coins. Although the price is indeed steep, given that the estate is meticulously constructed from high-quality C-grade metals, it is nevertheless a worthy investment. Managing such an expansive estate area undoubtedly requires a substantial workforce. With this consideration in mind, Yuan Ming further invested heavily in the purchase of 102,000 slaves. Among them, 100,000 are classified as planetary level 9 slaves, each priced at 10 cosmic coins. Additionally, there are 2,000 stellar level 1 slaves, each costing 200 cosmic coins. These slaves closely resemble humans in physique and exhibit a rich variety of skin tones, including shades of blue as deep as the sky, fiery reds, and pure whites akin to snow. In terms of aesthetic standards, they tend to align with the style and characteristics of blue planet inhabitants. Furthermore, Yuan Ming meticulously ordered 10 outstanding A-grade spacecraft, Each vessel measures over 370 meters in length, 160 meters in width, and 100 meters in height. Surprisingly, each spacecraft is priced affordably at only 80,000 cosmic coins. Yuan Ming harbors a detailed plan, intending to deploy these spacecraft on Mars for use as public transport for daily commuting. Upon the arrival of the spacecraft, he envisioned equipping his dear parents and his beloved children with their very own exclusive vessels, each accompanied by a cadre of professional guardians. Imagining such a scene, one could only marvel at its grandeur. Moreover, the cost of these spacecraft, when juxtaposed against their formidable capabilities and superior craftsmanship, was remarkably affordable. This round of scattered acquisitions amounted to a mere 820 million cosmic coins. Within this procurement expenditure, the estate's costs undoubtedly comprised the lion's share, rendering the remaining expenses inconsequential in comparison. Once all shipping details were confirmed, it was estimated that the ordered items would gracefully arrive at their destination within approximately 3 days. Subsequently, Yuan Ming carefully grasped a syringe, extracting a vial of his own blood with utmost caution, and meticulously placed the sample into a specialized container. He had made arrangements to hand this vial over to the courier staff the following day, ensuring it would be transported back to the Virtual Universe Company for in-depth genetic research, aimed at developing gene evolution liquids and techniques. After completing this series of tasks, the night promised to be tranquil and serene. Yuan Ming lay contentedly on his bed, a satisfied smile lingering on his lips even in slumber. At 5 in the morning, he casually partook of a light breakfast at the hotel, and under the cover of darkness, ascended to the rooftop, releasing a beam from the Wukong spacecraft that illuminated him, instantly transporting him aboard. His expression was one of astonishment and bewilderment. Why had he descended with a leap last time? It is well known that photons, while devoid of rest mass, possess momentum and energy. Consequently, when light illuminates an object, it exerts a force upon it. This phenomenon adheres to the familiar laws of mechanics, specifically the principle of action and reaction. Hence, many science fiction narratives envision harnessing a colossal solar sail, allowing light to impart pressure that continuously accelerates the spacecraft, ultimately achieving superluminal travel. The fundamental principle of optical tweezers relates to the force exerted by light, and it operates along similar lines. This segment involves a bit of mechanical analysis. Those intrigued may delve deeper, while others may simply glance at the conclusion. Currently, the force that optical tweezers can provide remains exceedingly minute. Mathematically, 1 pn equals 10⁻12 n during our high school days. We learned that the weight of 2 eggs is approximately 1 n. Thus, 1 pn is akin to dividing the weight of 2 eggs into a trillion parts and extracting one of those segments. Consider how many eggs you would need to weigh that much. Therefore, at present, optical tweezers primarily manipulate ultra-small objects on the micron scale, capable of performing operations on single cells. Yet the aspiration to achieve the cinematic spectacle of lifting a person remains a distant goal. Chapter 15. Arrival at the Pickup Point. Part 2. The value of orbital angular momentum, scientifically referred to as topological charge, can be any integer, presenting a significant advantage in the realm of optical communications. In the cutting-edge realm of quantum communication, various forms of photon entanglement, including orbital angular momentum entanglement, are utilized. In essence, many phenomena and properties within optics are truly astonishing, and through the diligent efforts of scientists, the magic of remote object manipulation is gradually becoming a reality. However, it is evident that advanced civilizations in the universe have already mastered this technology. Lilith, why did I leap from the spaceship last time? With such marvelous technology, why did you not inform me sooner? Hehe, you didn't ask either. Never mind, let's not dwell on it. I stepped into the cockpit, and with a flurry of Lilith's controls, the ship ascended into the vastness of space. In less than a few minutes, we arrived at a neighboring star system, where planets of various sizes orbited a solitary sun, resembling Earth's environment. Currently desolate, yet as time passes, life may very well emerge. It is well known that water, under sufficient pressure, can transform into iron. Theoretically, with an infinite supply of water and an infinitely pressurized device, this transformation is achievable. A single drop of water contains approximately 100 trillion molecules, each composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Applying pressure to water compresses the molecules increasingly tightly. When the pressure reaches 100,000 atmospheres, the bonds between water molecules will break, forming solid crystals composed of hydrogen and oxygen atom polymers. If pressure continues to escalate, collisions between water molecules will ionize the electrons within the hydrogen and oxygen atoms, resulting in plasma. Upon reaching 1 million standard atmospheres, the previously ionized atoms draw nearer, and the plasma's surface ceases to be transparent, instead exhibiting a metallic sheen. When pressure escalates to 100 standard atmospheres, it equals the pressure found within the Sun. The nuclei of hydrogen atoms fuse to form helium, and with further compression, new materials will continue to emerge. Upon reaching pressures 8 times greater than those at which the Sun collapses, one arrives at the terminus of nuclear fusion, at which point compression continues. When the pressure becomes sufficiently immense, iron atoms will also be crushed, causing electrons to be forced into the atomic nucleus, merging with protons to become neutrons. This results in a dramatic reduction in volume, compressing the drop of water into a neutron star, where 1 cubic centimeter could weigh around 1 billion tons. If pressure increases further, exceeding the maximum mass limit of a neutron star, known as the Oppenheimer limit, the star will collapse to form a black hole. Thus, compressing water infinitely would ultimately yield a black hole. In truth, any ordinary matter, when subjected to extreme compression, could theoretically transform into iron. Hence, while the genesis of water is challenging, it remains a possibility, serving as a prerequisite for human life. This planet, in its relentless orbit, may eventually evolve into a cradle of life, though that may take billions of years. In this scorching world, where temperatures soar above 40 degrees, the surrounding air is thick with oppressive humidity, and the parched atmosphere seems intent on draining every last drop of moisture. The earth was scorched by the searing sun, heat rising from the ground, distorting the very air before him. Yet, for Yuan Ming at this moment, such an environment remained within tolerable bounds. Standing upon this desolate expanse, he gazed up at the vast, star-studded sky, his mind involuntarily drifting into boundless reverie. The endless river of stars presented itself as a colossal enigma, awaiting his exploration and interpretation. Time slipped by quietly in this tranquility. After more than 4 long hours, he finally captured sight of the long-anticipated cargo spaceship. Prompted by Lilith's reminder, the vessel's exterior shimmered with a silvery glow, appearing both mysterious and majestic against the backdrop of starlight. With Lilith's deft maneuvering during the docking process and confirmation of the order number, the spaceship steadily hovered above the planet, 100 meters above the surface. Then, a dazzling beam of light flashed as 13 individuals descended from the ship in succession. Among them, 2 tall figures stood out remarkably, clad in black, form-fitting uniforms that subtly revealed their muscular contours. Their erect postures and vigilant gazes suggested they were bodyguards, their sharp eyes scanning the surroundings as if prepared to confront any unforeseen circumstances. One individual cautiously cradled a tray, upon which rested a luminous device and a storage ring. His expression was solemn and serious, each step taken with utmost care. The remaining 10 individuals were the cosmic-grade level 8 slaves Yuan Ming had procured. Their bodies were restrained by specially designed apparatus, and their eyes betrayed a hint of confusion and unease. Truth be told, I wish to craft a piece of hard science fiction, but it seems the readers are not receptive, even rebuking me for my efforts, accusing me of flooding the narrative. It is disheartening. For the sake of monetary gain, I may have to pivot towards fantastical science fiction. Please forgive me, dear brethren. Chapter 15. Arrival without hesitation, Yuan Ming, accompanied by 2 Domain Lord level and 10D level synthetic beings, strode forward with resolute steps. Each footfall stirred a small cloud of dust, forming a faint haze under the starlight. This marked Yuan Ming's first close encounter with extraterrestrial beings, his gaze brimming with curiosity and inquiry. He observed that the skin of these aliens was markedly different from that of blue star inhabitants, smooth and reflective, akin to meticulously polished gemstones, shimmering with strange hues in the dim starlight. The uniforms worn by the 3 individuals exuded a striking metallic quality, appearing entirely seamless, a testament to exquisite craftsmanship and high caliber that was truly awe-inspiring. The metallic sheen resembled flowing mercury, shifting in light and shadow with their movements. Lilith softly informed Yuan Ming, the one holding the tray is of stellar rank, while the 2 bodyguards are at Domain Lord level. At that moment, the extraterrestrial beings addressed him in a universal cosmic tongue. Greetings, sir. Please enter your account to confirm the delivery address. Upon hearing the moniker, Yuan Ming couldn't help but chuckle inwardly. Pretty boy was indeed a delightful appellation, and he decided to adopt it as his account name. In terms of communication, he felt no apprehension, for with Lilith, the super-intelligent AI, by his side, the translated content would manifest in his mind instantaneously, as long as he could comprehend. Speaking was of no consequence. He simply needed to follow the operational protocols without uttering a word. Subsequently, a holographic interface was projected from the tray, and under Lilith's patient guidance, Yuan Ming successfully entered his account details and confirmed his location. He then retrieved the storage ring, focusing his mind to examine its contents. The interior of the ring resembled a miniature cosmic space, with various items and resources arranged meticulously. Once he confirmed everything was in order, he exited his mental focus, entered the confirmation details on the holographic interface, and ultimately provided his blood as required. Thank you for your purchase. We look forward to your next visit. We appreciate your trust and support. We shall not take up more of your time. Yuan Ming offered no reply. Instead, he decisively turned, leading 10 slaves toward the Wukong spacecraft. His silhouette stretched long beneath the starlight, his strides resolute and powerful. The trio of delivery personnel swiftly pivoted, and with a flicker of light, vanished from sight, the spacecraft soaring into the void. Inside the ship, Jebin remarked, "That was truly frightening. The system informed me that the other party comprised 2 domain lords and 10 realm lords. I feared we were on the brink of a black market encounter." One of the delivery personnel, still shaken, remarked, "I thought the same. I believed I might have to sacrifice myself for the illustrious virtual universe company." Thankfully, everything proceeded smoothly. Jebin replied, wiping the beads of sweat from his brow. "I envy that individual, possessing such a remarkable background. Judging by his appearance, he belongs to a rare race and possesses no discernible cultivation. In this vast universe, there are numerous beings like him. They merely excel in financial ventures, serving other companies. The privileges they enjoy evoke envy in many," remarked the delivery person, filled with wistfulness. "Rest assured, Yuan Ming, the delivery ship will monitor every action of those involved. Should any unusual activity arise, they will be eradicated instantaneously by the ship. The virtual universe company will not allow any factor to tarnish its reputation. Moreover, your information is exceptionally well protected," Lilith reassured Yuan Ming. Yet, a shadow of concern lingered in Yuan Ming's heart regarding the implications of having provided his blood. After all, the universe was enigmatic, and one could never predict the existence of some arcane curse or peculiar methods reminiscent of a cultivation world. He had once contemplated asking Lilith if he could substitute the blood with that of another blue star inhabitant. This notion crossed his mind, yet considering the compatibility issues, his own blood seemed the most prudent choice. After all, he had expended 20 million cosmic coins acquiring techniques and gene evolution fluid. A slight oversight leading to failure would be a considerable loss. Upon hearing Lilith's explanation, Yuan Ming felt a great deal more at ease. He turned to the 10 slaves and declared, "From this moment forth, I shall provide you with the resources necessary for your cultivation. Once you have made sufficient contributions to my cause, I may consider granting you your freedom." The 10 slaves exchanged glances, their faces devoid of expression, revealing a profound sense of resignation and numbness. Clearly, they had heard such promises far too many times before. The pledges once made had long since dissolved into disappointment, leaving them devoid of hope. The visions of a brighter future appeared to them as mere illusions, fragile bubbles that would burst at the slightest touch. Yet, conditioned by years of servitude and driven by the instinct to survive, they lowered their heads and responded in unison, "Yes, master." Their voices betrayed no emotion, only a mechanical obedience. Upon returning to Blue Star, Yuan Ming, accompanied by the 10 slaves, made his way without pause to a mountain located 10 kilometers from Tongjiang County. This mountain, typically quiet and desolate, was on the brink of a significant transformation. After taking his position, Yuan Ming swiftly released 120 combat bionic robots from his spatial storage device. These robots were imposing in stature, their metallic components glinting with a cold sheen under the sunlight. Meanwhile, the 10 slaves stood neatly to the side, awaiting their instructions. Yuan Ming surveyed the assembly before him and solemnly commanded, "When I release the villa, you are to handle the assembly." His voice resonated across the open mountain, imbued with an undeniable authority. He then activated the device in his hand, and with a dazzling flash of light, a Pioneer-class villa materialized before them. The components of the villa hovered in an orderly fashion, exuding an aura of advanced technology. With the presence of these cosmic-level slaves and the sophisticated combat bionic robots, the assembly progressed with remarkable speed. In a mere 2 hours, all assembly tasks were completed. The villa, sprawling over 2,525 square kilometers, rose majestically upon the mountain, resembling a small city. Its exterior showcased cutting-edge design principles, with walls crafted from a special alloy, both robust and aesthetically pleasing. The roof was adorned with advanced energy collection devices, shimmering with a mysterious glow, while meticulously designed landscape gardens surrounded it, featuring pavilions and towers in harmonious arrangement. The entire villa was grand in scale and extraordinary in presence, each detail exuding luxury and prestige. In that moment, Yuan Ming stood before the villa, gazing at his creation, and felt a genuine sense of belonging wash over him. This was his new home, a place brimming with infinite possibilities and hope. He envisioned the future, seeing himself as the protagonist, the chosen one, destined to realize his dreams and embark on a new journey, leaving his own legend in the vast cosmos. Chapter 16. The reaction of the Han Dynasty. The energy block of the spacecraft had been replenished, now at full capacity, with the warp engine and dark universe engine activated. The inhabitants of Blue Star posed no further threat to Yuan Ming. His motto was simple: if one cannot fight, one must flee. For life is paramount. There is but one life to live. In a manner akin to that, each time one must audaciously provoke the formidable, meddle in affairs that do not concern them, and subsequently be pursued and captured, gradually growing stronger with each encounter. This is not Yuan Ming's style. Life is singular and cannot be gambled away. For the rise of Blue Star, for the continuation of civilization, I must endure, for I am the hope of my nation. Having installed a villa spanning 525 kilometers, Yuan Ming has already contemplated the potential outcomes that will unfold in an hour. It is imperative to address matters promptly, lest misunderstandings arise with the aircraft and artillery looming nearby. Lilith, connect me to the chairman of the Celestial Empire's Congress and inform me of his location. I must engage in a discussion. Otherwise, unnecessary misunderstandings may ensue. Very well, your compassion is truly admirable. Many planets enforce their dominion with an iron fist. I am aware. Yet it remains my home planet. After a series of beeping tones, the call to the chairman was established. Hello, comrade, this is Yuan Ming. I understand you have numerous inquiries, but I would prefer to discuss matters in person. Ah, very well, I shall be there shortly. I will arrive in 5 minutes at Zheng City. The chairman displayed remarkable warmth, exhibiting no signs of surprise or astonishment, perhaps a testament to the composure of seasoned comrades. Subsequently, accompanied by 10 domain lords and 2 realm lords, they boarded the Wukong vessel, a presence that posed no threat within the galaxy. On the other end of the line, the chairman held some skepticism regarding the previous conversation, yet he summoned his secretary, who, in a state of shock, suggested, I will call in the security detail. Let us proceed. No need for that, Xiaozhong. We are within the Forbidden City. If he possesses the audacity to enter, bringing such a large entourage is superfluous. Summon our young comrade. Let us go and observe together. A great nation does not thrive without resilience. Mere minutes after the villa's installation, satellites detected anomalies and alerted ground forces. Veteran military officials received the report and convened a meeting within 20 minutes to discuss the irregularities originating from the Shuzhong region. During this deliberation, the Wukong vessel, carrying Yuan Ming and his 12 attendants, arrived at the edge of a pond within the Forbidden City, where they were illuminated by a beam of light and gently deposited onto the ground. From a distance, the chairman and other members of Congress were engrossed in conversation regarding the recent events when, out of the corner of their eyes, they noticed this anomaly. Upon seeing 13 figures materialize by the pond, they were instantly astounded, yet their conviction regarding the authenticity of the prior events was only reinforced. They approached one another, shook hands, and commenced a 2-hour negotiation. This meeting was primarily directed by Yuan Ming, having been meticulously planned in advance to align with the interests of the majority of Blue Star's populace. Yuan Ming is neither a saint nor a villain. Unlike the likes of Chao Wang, who amassed vast fortunes alongside his glass factory, only to donate a meager sum of 100 billion to soothe his conscience. While his brothers endured frugality for a meager salary of 45,000, only to have their efforts dismissed with a casual donation. How brazen. Furthermore, Yuan Ming noted online discussions claiming that the 100 billion donation was merely a tax write-off. Is that not absurd? A donation of 100 billion for tax relief bears little difference from distributing 100 billion to his comrades. Ultimately, it all boils down to a shortfall of 10 billion. Would it not be more gratifying to share it among comrades? In Yuan Ming's heart, there remains a degree of support for Hu Wei's leadership, who speaks with candor, declaring that the United States is indeed worthy of admiration. Indeed, when juxtaposed with the benefits afforded to American capitalists, an 8-hour workday and a salary spanning 17 months per year, Yuan Ming finds it challenging to discern whether the capitalists of the Han Dynasty or those of the United States truly embody the essence of capitalism. The reason the United States has sustained its status as a developed nation from over a century ago to the present day lies in the collective contributions of its populace. Thus, from a macro perspective, when one's strength surpasses all else, there is no necessity to bully others, especially not in internal strife. Yuan Ming is not a saint. Rather, he perceives that Blue Star has ceased to offer anything worth striving for or seizing. Presently, he harbors the hope that amidst the vast ocean of the cosmos, Blue Star, a mere grain of sand, might rise. However, the scales of fortune must tilt towards the land that nurtures him. As for the details of this conversation, I shall refrain from elaborating, as it touches upon political matters. My aim is to write and support my family. Being silenced would spell disaster. Brothers, please understand. Thus, the ultimate conclusions reached are as follows. First, he has affirmed his identity as a denizen of Blue Star, not an extraterrestrial. Second, his commitment to nurturing and cherishing his homeland remains unwavering. Third, he has expressed a willingness to share extraterrestrial technology and knowledge. Fourth, he has assured that in forthcoming distributions of Blue Star's resources, there is a readiness to favor his homeland. Fifth, he has confirmed that his heart does not reside with Blue Star, granting them peace of mind. Lastly, he has pledged to assist in nurturing the future generations of his homeland, exposing them to the cosmos. In truth, this does not signify that Yuan Ming is exceptionally grand. He simply feels that Blue Star no longer possesses anything to be gained. His considerations are directed towards the future, and it is evident that all known beings beyond Blue Star are entirely dissimilar to Earthlings, even differing in blood type. It is improbable that one would seek an extraterrestrial spouse for his future offspring. For what of the lineage? Yuan Ming contemplates the prospect of grandchildren, or of marrying someone whose frail constitution would see their child living for a millennium while they themselves perish at 60. Thus, whether for public or private reasons, whether for the greater good or personal desire, Yuan Ming will not forsake Earth. It is a matter of bloodline continuity as well as investment. Those who frequently preach about virtuous altruism leave him perplexed. Such sentiments are only valid in scenarios of comparable strength, where one fears retaliation or ambush. Presently, Yuan Ming exudes confidence, shielded by 2 elite bioengineered bodyguards. Even if Blue Star were to face destruction, he could ensure his own safety. In the face of undeniable strength, there is naught to fear. Yuan Ming does not seek violence for its own sake. He aspires to be a person of dignity, winning hearts through virtue. The contents of this discourse have already been recorded by the Secretary and the Chief Legislator along with 6 other legislators. Following the 6 confirmations, the 7th point pertains to the affirmation of strength. Aside from the Chief Legislator, who remained absent, a degree of caution persists, for even in trust, one must retain a margin of safety. In the face of potential adversity, it is prudent to have someone to oversee matters, a principle rooted in the Han Dynasty's philosophy. It is not the unlikely that concerns one, but the multitude of possible eventualities. Yet, to avoid unsettling Yuan Ming, arrangements were made for the 2nd through 7th legislators, accompanied by the Secretary, to exit the Hall of Supreme Harmony. As a beam of light swept across the space, a group of over 30 individuals arrived aboard the spacecraft, their pupils dilated to twice their usual size in astonishment. Even if I were to bestow this technology upon you, with the scientific prowess of Blue Star, it would take no less than a decade for you to harness it. The 6 council members nodded in tacit agreement, as the journey from Zheng City to Shu took less than a minute. The 6 delegates, accompanied by 6 secretaries and 10 guards from the Forbidden City, were utterly astonished, rendered speechless by the spectacle. Yet, in an effort to maintain their composure, they outwardly appeared remarkably calm. A beam of light then transported everyone back to the ground, where they stood upon the grounds of a luxurious villa from the year 2525, which to their eyes resembled a grand estate. This estate was indeed a high-end manor, adorned with lush greenery and seamless, colorful pathways that gleamed but did not slip, featuring fountains, statues, and recreational facilities. Following Lilith's guidance, they were shown unique weaponry and cutting-edge technology, a demonstration of formidable prowess. As the conversation flowed among the crowd, the sound of helicopters echoed outside, with more than 10 choppers hovering above, capturing photographs. A wave of anxiety swept through everyone except Yuan Ming. The thought of the 6 of them meeting an untimely end sent a chill of dread through the nation, causing the world to tremble. All eyes turned to Yuan Ming, who shrugged his shoulders, indicating his uncertainty about the situation. Let us step outside and investigate, he suggested, leading the way, followed closely by the leaders, secretaries, and guards from the Forbidden City. Eagle, this is Rookie. I have arrived at the designated location. Please acknowledge, crackled the radio. Rookie, this is Eagle. I command you to conduct an infrared scan of the area, capture images, and establish a live video connection to relay detailed information. Await further instructions. Acknowledged. I have initiated the video link and am awaiting orders, replied the Rookie, activating the helicopter's forward-facing camera. Within moments, a group of individuals emerged from the main building of the manor. At that very moment, high-ranking military officials, from the eldest to the youngest, were gathered in an office. The elder at the forefront and the others seated behind him, their eyes glued to the high-definition live feed. As the elder readied to speak into the microphone, he was taken aback by the sight of the group on the screen, his jaw nearly dropping in disbelief. He double-checked, and the faces of the 2nd to 10th members, including the esteemed Xiao Li from the Forbidden City, who was a distinguished hero of our war zone, were unmistakable, due to their outstanding qualifications and impeccable backgrounds. It was I who had arranged for him to be in the Forbidden City. Are they inspecting some project? The 5th member inquired. Why are so many council members present? Quickly, call the secretary's office to inquire about the situation. He then summoned a personal communicator into the office. Meanwhile, upon seeing the armed helicopter, the council members' anxieties were finally alleviated. They were reassured that it was their own people, having previously harbored doubts. They instructed their respective secretaries to contact the military headquarters to clarify the unfolding events. After 3 minutes, upon confirming the identities of both parties, they expressed a sense of security. With a touch of elegance, they offered a few words of praise for the military, lauding the comrades in the Shuzhong War Zone, West, for their unwavering discipline and rapid mobility, declaring them a great fortune for the nation and a source of pride for the people, serving as exemplars for our generation. All personnel assigned the task were awarded the honor of 2nd-class merit. Novices, I am the Eagle. I congratulate you on your prosperity. Your combat team has achieved 2nd-class merit, and all will be recognized. 10 aircraft, all included. Ha ha ha. Eagle, received. Novices, in response to the leadership's orders. Your current mission is to safeguard the area within a 10-kilometer radius from here, protecting it from any potential dangers. Please acknowledge. Acknowledged, novices received. Thumbs up and comments. Brothers, let us rally together, give a good review. As youth in this new era, we must always maintain a patriotic heart, ready to take the battlefield whenever our country calls. Let us go, passionate youth, let us seize the day. Chapter 17. Establishment of the Blue Star Federation. Subsequently, 6 leaders from the Han Dynasty, accompanied by Yuan Ming and armed with meticulously prepared materials from Lilith, re-entered the solemn and majestic Purple Gold City. Convening such a multitude of significant figures required time. A 30-minute wait was inevitable, as many needed to rush from various locations. The pinnacle of power within the Han Dynasty, alongside Yuan Ming, engaged in a formal and serious discussion regarding the hopes and future of the nation. This meeting resembled an in-depth negotiation, aimed at establishing crucial regulations concerning the fate of the people. They prominently displayed the materials provided by Lilith on the enormous screen before them, in the gathered assembly, with solemn expressions, concentrated intently on the information presented. Currently, the known races in the universe amount to as many as 300 million, with the majority residing within the territories of over 300 of the most formidable peak races. Among these are humanity, elves, deities, cosmic behemoths, beast races, mechanical beings, and insectoid species, among others. Humanity possesses 36,000 cosmic nations, each consisting of countless empires, with the smallest having around 500 empires and the largest reaching up to 20,000 empires. Each empire comprises a minimum of 500 to 20,000 star systems, and within each star system, there exist between 500 and 20,000 habitable planets. Additionally, these life-bearing planets are home to numerous nations. The location we currently inhabit is the galaxy of Yunlan, governed by the Baiyun Empire within the Honghuang Cosmic Nation. 1 cosmic crystal is equivalent to 10,000 Baiyun coins, while 1 Baiyun coin equals 10,000 Yunlan coins. It is essential for everyone to recognize the insignificance of Blue Star in the vast universe, as this understanding will foster a more unified front. Subsequently, everyone eagerly proposed ideas and engaged in discussions, ultimately reaching the following conclusions. 1. The establishment of the Blue Star Federation. The Blue Star is exceedingly small in the expansive universe, and it is indeed rather unreasonable for such a multitude of nations to exist on a singular blue star. 2. The implementation of a parliamentary system. There are 60 nations with populations exceeding 20 million, while those below this threshold are excluded from this classification. One must never allow disorganized factions to establish nations at will, exploiting the vulnerabilities of the Earth Federation. A provisional allocation of 66 parliamentary seats has been determined, with the Han Dynasty securing 7 of these. Thirdly, all nations are to disband and abolish their existing military forces, replacing them with a Galaxy Guard. The current military model on Blue Star has become antiquated, with a provisional fleet of 100 spacecraft generously sponsored by Yuan Ming. Fourthly, a law enforcement agency. The Federal Religious Administration will be established, with members meticulously selected from individuals of planetary status and above. Fifthly, the passport system will be abolished. and all residents of Blue Star will be recognized as federal citizens. Federal citizens shall enjoy all rights and protections afforded by the Blue Star Federation, while those outside the Federation will no longer receive its sanctuary. Sixthly, the first Speaker of the Congress must be from the Han Dynasty, serving a term of 10 years. It is essential to recognize that a decade is ample time to advance numerous significant matters, particularly concerning the 5th and 6th articles. Should the United States and Japan refuse to join the Blue Star Federation, they shall not be spared from our ruthless measures. Following the preliminary establishment of these pivotal decisions during the conference, Han Guano, one will take the lead in planning to invite and convene the leaders of 60 nations in 3 days, thereby forming the highest assembly of the Earth Federation. Yuan Ming will participate as both a sponsor and the head of the Federal Religious Administration. This department must be firmly controlled, regardless of others' consent. Actions shall precede discussions. An establishment must take precedence. However, with great power comes great responsibility. Given the weight of this burden, one must embrace this responsibility. Upon returning, substantial funds will be required to prepare necessary materials. Yet if this effort can transform the state of the Earth and enhance the quality of life for its inhabitants, every sacrifice will be worthwhile. Once the Blue Star Federation is established, among the 66 parliamentary members, 7 will be our own, while the remaining 59 will harbor differing ambitions, each eager to become the speaker. It is uncertain whether the final vote count will even exceed 7. Nonetheless, the first speaker shall undoubtedly emerge from the Han Dynasty. Resource allocation will certainly reflect this, and with 5,000 years of accumulated political experience, if one cannot maintain control under such advantageous circumstances and manage the other countries, one must resign to fate. Another crucial matter is the acquisition of Sony ATV, the company holding the most music copyrights in the world. Currently, the income from cosmic currency heavily relies on this. Even if it costs 1 trillion renminbi to acquire, it is worth the investment. If everyone becomes aware of the cosmic information and its mysteries, my wealth will be safeguarded. Although they may not rival me militarily, the appearance must be preserved. After all, I hold a respectable position and cannot compete with the populace for profit. After the meeting concluded, Yuan Ming bid farewell to the leaders of Xia country with a handshake and, amidst a warm send-off, transformed into a beam of light to board the spacecraft, returning once again to Shu. Subsequently, he went to meet Yu Xiao, Lu Luan, and her daughter, who were enjoying the sight of elderly women dancing joyfully in the square. The little girl imitated the older women with admirable grace, her adorable demeanor melting hearts. Yuan Ming stepped forward and engaged in casual conversation. Such a well-behaved little girl. I would love to have one myself, he remarked with a smile. To his surprise, Yu Xiao cheekily replied, since you like her so much, why not have her recognize you as her godfather? The three exchanged glances, all agreeing that it was a splendid idea. Lu Luan hurriedly urged her daughter to call him godfather. All right, godfather will take you out for hot pot, Yuan Ming said joyfully. Subsequently, the 4 of them made their way to the hot pot restaurant. The people of Sichuan are renowned for their generosity, and hot pot is never served with a clear broth. Instead, they opted for a robust beef tallow red broth. Even from over 100 meters away, the rich aroma of the hot pot wafted through the air, making it impossible not to salivate. Yuan Ming led the group into the restaurant, with his 2 bodyguards closely trailing behind. While he was not one to shy away from challenges, he preferred to avoid unnecessary trouble. Unlike some individuals who, despite having a background and followers, feign modesty and play the role of a simpleton, he had no intention of engaging in such theatrics. To minimize complications, it was prudent to have bodyguards accompany him. Upon reaching the 2nd floor of the Xiaolong hot pot restaurant, they settled at a table by the window. The 2 bodyguards stood in the aisle, creating a bit of distance, yet this arrangement proved highly practical. The service staff were exceptionally attentive, inquiring about their comfort and showering the little girl with numerous gifts and snacks. The group ordered over 10 plates of tender lamb and 4 plates of rich beef, dipped in a flavorful concoction of sesame oil, crushed peanuts, cilantro, chili, garlic, and scallions. Each bite was a burst of fragrant delight, an indescribable sense of happiness enveloping them. Just as they were relishing their meal, Yuan Ming suddenly thought of his parents, who were still enduring hardships. Instantly, the delicacies before him lost some of their allure. He realized he needed to expedite arrangements to bring his parents over to enjoy such comforts. My good brothers, I would appreciate your comments, positive or negative, about this, he said. Chapter 18. Time can be accelerated after finishing the hot pot. The 4 strolled through the streets. As the clock struck 8:40, the streets became considerably quieter. A stark contrast to the bustling metropolis, highlighting the difference between a county town and a large city. Upon reaching a less populated area, he announced, next. I shall take you to a place that will soon be our home. Do not be too astonished. The three stood in place as a sudden beam of light descended upon them, illuminating everyone. In the blink of an eye, they found themselves in a room brimming with futuristic technology. Before they could fully grasp the situation, a voice resonated in their ears. Welcome to the Wukong. I am Lilith, your friend. Observing Lilith's somewhat clumsy greeting, there was an initial awkwardness, but the group quickly accepted her presence and introduced themselves to one another. Yuan Ming, no longer willing to wait, resolved to pick up his parents that very evening. He called them, instructing them to venture to a secluded spot for a brief moment, intending to surprise them. Although his parents harbored many questions, they ultimately trusted their child and prepared accordingly. The couple awaited him in a deserted green square in Guangzhou. Suddenly, a beam of light enveloped them, and they ascended into a spaceship. After exchanging pleasantries, a testament to traditional Chinese virtues, which shall be glossed over here for brevity's sake, they soon arrived at the estate. The estate, sprawling over more than 20,000 square meters and comprising 5 stories, housed numerous rooms, a gym, entertainment facilities, a dining area, and quarters for servants. The astonishment was palpable as they entered the living room, which spanned over 300 square meters. Adorned with unique furnishings of exquisite design and material, a true embodiment of elegance. Yuan Ming presented his parents with gifts he had procured in Chengdu, exquisite watches, accompanied by his girlfriend, Yu Xiao, who warmly addressed his parents, much to their delight. Upon seeing Yu Xiao's fair complexion, her skin so translucent that one could discern her veins, his parents were rendered speechless, showering her with blessings. However, in their haste, they promised to bestow gifts and red envelopes at a later time. Yu Xiao, having received their acknowledgement, beamed with happiness. Afterward, they distributed rooms, with Yu Xiao naturally sharing a space with Yuan Ming. Yet, as they lay together on the same bed, he merely held her close, savoring the sound of her breath. Once he confirmed she had drifted into slumber, his mind delved into the virtual cosmos. Lilith, what is our current account balance? He inquired. Take a guess. What nonsense? Have you been floating on air lately, or is my grip on reality slipping? Lilith, you've taken a turn for the worse. Check the panel. Oh, you lack any sense of whimsy. It's no wonder you've only just found a girlfriend. Name, Yuan Ming race. Arid star people, undeveloped. Unknown planet Earth, brain development. 6, Cosmic Kingdom average, 60, combat power, 06, Cosmic Kingdom average, 50, level, weak constitution. Subpar cultivation technique, none life limit, 2284 occupation information, none other information, none money. Earth currency, 21, 3 billion renminbi cosmic currency, 2, 856, 829, 506 coins. Goodness, Lilith. Is that 2, 8 billion? Are you certain I'm not misreading? Yuan Ming questioned, skepticism in his voice. Indeed, you read it correctly. It is 2, 8 billion. The top 3 are The Fifth Element, Symphony of Destiny, and Croatian Rhapsody, with your compatriot Gong Linus-Tantian in 4th place. You need to expedite the acquisition of the copyrights. Otherwise, it will be quite embarrassing once everyone finds out. What embarrassment? The money I earned is a testament to my capabilities. Were it not for me, would these works be so well known? Look at these so-called masterpieces, The Fifth Element and Tantian. They're merely cacophonous noise, hardly appreciated by anyone. I'm not one to benefit at the expense of others. I speak only the truth. Yuan Ming declared passionately, increasingly convinced of his righteousness, yet managing to retain a sliver of rationality amidst his fervor. Lilith, arrange meetings with all the companies holding music copyrights. I intend to acquire them. After all, we are all fellow inhabitants of Earth, and nothing should be taken for granted. By the way, please arrange a meeting with Musk, Ma Yun, and Ma Huadeng. These 3 are undoubtedly geniuses of our planet. The wealth I have acquired has come to me too easily, and I fear I may not grasp it fully. Musk is audacious, daring to innovate and create. Ma Yun possesses extraordinary perseverance, discerning vision, and remarkable strategic acumen. Ma Huateng excels in entertainment, adept at winning hearts and persuading people to part with their money, yielding substantial returns. If I could secure the allegiance of these 3, my wealth would ascend to a new echelon. Yuan Ming stated earnestly, determined to hold on to these 3 formidable allies. Lilith, when will my gene evolution liquid and techniques arrive? The Cosmic Virtual Company spans the entirety of the universe. Your order will arrive in 3 days. However, your techniques and gene evolution liquid require a longer wait, at least half a month. Lilith, did you not just declare that the Cosmic Virtual Company reaches across the universe? Why the lengthy delay? Yuan Ming questioned, incredulous at the apparent contradiction. The blood you previously provided was utilized to cultivate clones, creating thousands more of you. enabling them to train in specific environments, and subsequently using the gene evolution liquid to select the most exceptional among them, the ones who can cultivate the fastest. From there, we can craft techniques and gene evolution liquids best suited to you, Lilith explained, leaving Yuan Ming further bewildered. 15 days in total? How do you choose? How do the clones even grow? He exclaimed, incredulous at the absurdity of the situation. The universe is wondrous. There are possibilities beyond your imagination. Time can be accelerated. Your Earth possesses theoretical knowledge on this matter. The phenomenon of cosmic time dilation has been elucidated. Recent research published in Nature Astronomy reveals a remarkable aspect of the universe, demonstrating that the rate at which time elapses is not constant, but continually evolving. A team of scientists led by Professor Geraint Lewis in Australia analyzed data collected over the past 2 decades from 190 quasars and discovered that approximately 1 billion years after the universe's inception, time appeared to pass more slowly, at a rate equivalent to 5 seconds for every 1 second today. This revelation has sparked profound contemplation regarding the expansion of cosmic time. Quasars, which are ultra-active supermassive black holes located at the universe's edge, are also known as active galactic nuclei. Researchers regard them as standard cosmic clocks. And by analyzing the variations in the radiation data emitted by these quasars, they have been able to study the effects of time dilation caused by the expansion of cosmic space. According to mainstream theories, the universe originated from a Big Bang, underwent a phase of rapid inflation, and ultimately evolved into its current state. However, this study indicates that the rate at which time flows in the universe is not uniform, but subject to continuous change. In our daily lives, we often struggle to perceive minute fluctuations in time. Yet for an entity as vast as the universe, with a history spanning 13.8 billion years, such subtle variations can indeed be observed. Given that the propagation of light requires time, when we observe distant celestial bodies through telescopes, we are, in fact, witnessing their past. Thus, the farther away the celestial body, the more ancient the universe we behold. This also signifies that the universe we observe is perpetually expanding, and its rate of expansion is accelerating. The expansion of the cosmos is not linear, rather, it is nonlinear. This indicates that the average passage of time within the universe is likewise expanding in a nonlinear fashion. During the nascent stages of the universe, the flow of time was 5 times slower than it is now, suggesting that the passage of time in the past billion years has been relatively sluggish. Provided one identifies the appropriate locations within suitable galaxies, both acceleration and deceleration are feasible. With the technology currently under the purview of the Virtual Universe Company, it is entirely possible to artificially induce the acceleration and deceleration of time, albeit confined to a singular location and at a prohibitively high cost. Primarily for endeavors of greater significance, your customization is merely one facet of this technology. Chapter 19, The Meeting with the Three Ma. It is truly inconceivable. No wonder humanity has ascended to the pinnacle of racial achievement, Yuan Ming remarked, setting aside matters of martial arts and genetic evolution fluid. It is paramount to first incorporate the Three Ma. The task of establishing contact shall be entrusted to Lilith. Only by resolving this matter swiftly can one find solace. Early in the morning, after sharing breakfast with my parents and 3 daughters, I took them to explore the unique attractions of Tongjiang, the Red Army Bridge, Kongshan Dam, Huanglong Cave, and ultimately, the Wangping Martyrs Cemetery, the largest of its kind in China, stirring a profound sense of national sentiment within me. The entire day was spent in the company of my family. At 8:37 p.m., I finally received splendid news. Lilith had successfully negotiated with Ma Huading, Ma Yun, and Elon Musk. To demonstrate our prowess and earn their respect, we must go and retrieve them immediately. At 8:43 p.m., outside the SpaceX worksite in Florida, Elon Musk stood in an expansive field. A beam of light illuminated him. As Ma Yun on the playground of the University of Tokyo and Ma Huading on a private island in the South China Sea were all escorted aboard the spacecraft, destined directly for Mars. 10 minutes later, hovering 100 meters above Mars, a beam of light descended upon the Martian surface, where the 4 individuals materialized. I summoned the 3 of you today. Lilith should have briefed you, I began. Your accomplishments on Earth may appear significant to many, but in the grand scheme of the universe, they are negligible. The cosmos is boundless. Within our current empire alone, there exist at least 360 trillion life-bearing planets. To others, Earth itself is valued at merely a few million. Now, having witnessed the speed of our spacecraft, what are your impressions of our technology? Ma Huateng remained circumspect and said little, while Ma Yun surveyed their surroundings, observing and analyzing. Musk interjected, Mr. Yuan, I am grateful for your trust. My lifelong ambition has been to facilitate the colonization of Mars, to terraform the planet, and to usher humanity into the interstellar era. You have brought me to Mars 30 years ahead of schedule. I am willing to work for you. On the condition that you grant me one request. I wish for the public disclosure of intellectual property. Patents are but stumbling blocks to the evolution of humanity's destiny. I hope you will make all technologies accessible to me in the future. Upon hearing these words, Yuan Ming could not help but chuckle. Indeed, fortune favors the prepared. I had initially intended to establish a Galactic Federation, openly sharing patented technologies to accelerate Earth's development and align it with the cosmos. Your eagerness is palpable. Why refuse an opportunity that presents itself so readily? Observing the other two, who remained in a state of contemplation, Yuan Ming realized they clearly deemed their resources insufficient. The universe is vast, filled with miracles. Human lifespans can be limitless, even eternal, though this hinges upon access to cosmic energy. At the pinnacle of the universe, 36,000 cosmic nations are allocated by the highest assembly of humanity, each composed of approximately 2,000 empires, which in turn consist of around 2,000 member nations, each formed of 2,000 galaxies. Our Milky Way, a relatively modest galaxy, contains over 20,000 life-bearing planets. When considering the Milky Way span of 2 million light-years, the cosmic nations possess a minimum of 360 trillion life planets, with growth potential exceeding 1,000-fold, as galaxies larger than the Milky Way are abundant. As Yuan Ming observed their reactions, he noted the furrowed brows of the three. He produced 4 cosmic coins from the storage space on his wrist and distributed them among them. Musk gazed in disbelief at the cosmic currency, pondering whether this was some form of magic or a storage ring. Though curiosity stirred within him, the atmosphere restrained him from voicing his thoughts. These cosmic coins, also known as cosmic crystals, were acquired from the interstellar pirates that Lilith's former master had confronted in his cosmic ventures, and he possessed many more. He held one cosmic coin aloft and continued his discourse. In the universe, individuals possess a method of cultivation, absorbing cosmic energy to transform their cells, thereby elevating their life levels and combat prowess, eventually becoming cosmic powerhouses. The lifespan of these cosmic beings varies. A novice apprentice, 200 years, planetary level, approximately 1,000 years, stellar level, 1 era, roughly 10,000 years, cosmic level, 10 eras, domain lord level, 100 eras, realm lord level, 1,000 eras, immortal and beyond, eternal and undying. This cosmic coin, also termed a cosmic crystal, is a product of compressed cosmic energy, serving as a consumable. Its use diminishes one's supply. Such coins function as universal currency among cosmic nations, akin to Earth, where one might acquire a life-bearing planet 1,000,000 times larger than Earth for roughly 100 million of these coins. However, the price is steep, for the value of terrestrial commodities has plummeted. Yet, if you choose to ally with me, I shall provide each of you with initial capital, enabling you to procure substantial wealth in terms of Earth currency. Do not mistakenly equate cosmic coins with dollars. They are entirely distinct. In the cosmos, metals are classified into 7 grades, labeled A through G, where gold does not even rank among the lowest, grade A metals. The entirety of Earth's possessions could scarcely exchange for even 100 cosmic coins. The 9th-level planet possesses the remarkable ability to traverse the heavens and the Earth, impervious to even the mightiest missiles. Yet, amidst the vast cosmos, it can only fetch a mere 10 cosmic coins, a stark testament to the diminutive value of Earth. At this juncture, Yuan Ming paused for over 10 seconds, scrutinizing the trio before him intently. He continued, fixing his gaze upon them. Should you choose to ally with me, I can furnish each of you with the means to acquire 10 life planets. Additionally, I shall bestow upon you 2 8th-level cosmic warriors and a Class C spacecraft. Within the galaxy, among the 20,000 life planets, 8th-level warriors can stride with confidence. Contemplate this carefully. I extend this offer only once. You are not irreplaceable. I merely hold a certain appreciation and recognition for the endeavors you 3 have undertaken on Earth. He emphasized the principle of rewarding effort, asserting that a good leader must balance benevolence with authority, lest one be mistaken for seeking favors. As the saying goes, a 1,000-mile horse is often found, yet a beau loup is seldom seen. You have entered the universe without a single coin. I trust that in the nascent stages of entrepreneurship, Ma Yun and Ma Huateng can relate to the agony of tireless effort, nearly offloading 10 cents for 1,000,000. I can provide you with everything you desire, grant you techniques for eternal life, and an abundance of resources. Having conveyed his message, he turned to depart, suggesting a visit to his abode. I've shared much with you today. Take some time to ponder. He led the 3 beneath the spacecraft, where a beam of light enveloped them, transporting them inside. Among the trio, Musk exhibited the greatest fascination with science, his face betraying a sense of wonder at the advanced technology before him. 2 minutes later, in Tongjiang County, Sichuan, the spacecraft hovered above a grand estate, and the four entered the manor. Observing the technologically advanced ground, lush greenery, and exquisite design, they felt an overwhelming sense of marvel. Despite their own wealth and experience, the unfamiliar materials and designs evoked expressions of envy. After all, this was crafted from a standard sea-level metal that transcended earthly standards. The distinction was palpable. Ma Yun was the first to speak. Mr. Yuan, I have given this considerable thought. I accept your recognition. But you are aware of my current position as an educator in Japan. I genuinely aspire for my abilities and worth to be acknowledged by all. Thus, since you have extended this opportunity, I am willing to accept it. Following suit, Ma Huateng echoed, I share Ma's sentiments. I accept your invitation. Musk added, as you all know, I am utterly captivated by the cosmos and technology. I am eager to work for you, Mr. Yuan. A wave of exhilaration surged within him. While a county chief may not ascend to the presidency in America, a president could never serve as a county chief in Xia. Ma Yun and Ma Huateng are truly exceptional managerial talents. Those who understand, understand. Musk is a fusion of creativity and managerial genius. With the support of these three, my financial resources will surely not dwindle. After a brief discussion, they entered the living room, where his parents and 3 daughters were still awake. Their gazes immediately fixed upon Ma Yun, Ma Huateng, and Musk, their jaws nearly dropping in astonishment. After a round of introductions, he suggested, Parents, shall we prepare some dishes? I would like to share a drink with them. Tonight is destined to be extraordinary. Chapter 20. Completion of the Mars Manor. After raising their glasses in a toast, 10 slaves of cosmic rank were summoned, each allowed to select 2 companions. Lilith had successfully transmitted the Earth language into the chips embedded in the slaves' brains. This was the first time the trio observed extraterrestrials up close, and they were utterly astonished. Once selections were made, they returned to their spacecraft to escort the chosen ones back along the original route. On the return journey, Yuan Ming was brimming with excitement. He finally had formidable allies at his disposal. Lilith, have you arranged the copyright matters for tomorrow? This is of utmost importance to me. Rest assured, I have already spoken with them. They initially proposed a price 3 times their market value, but they are open to negotiation. I have scheduled a meeting in Chengdu for tomorrow at 9 a.m. with the heads and stakeholders from 6 companies, totaling 23 individuals from 8 different countries. They will all arrive at Tianfu International Airport, and we have booked the Hilton Hotel at 11 a.m. for discussions. We must expedite this, as the shipment of over 102,000 slaves I ordered will arrive the day after tomorrow. We need to collect the package. His phone buzzed with an invitation to a federal conference in Xia Country on July 15th, where presidents from over 60 nations would convene. We must attend this meeting. It has the potential to alter the course of Earth's future. As night fell, after bidding farewell to Sanma, everyone returned to their rooms. And Yuan Ming, too, went to his chamber. Before he could switch on the light, a shadowy figure lunged at him, pressing their lips against his. A soft, supple presence slipped into his mouth as they fumbled to turn on the light. Before him stood a flawless figure, radiant as jade. Gazing at the snow-white skin and delicate frame, he could no longer restrain himself and initiated a passionate kiss. In that fleeting moment, time seemed to stand still. Though it lasted but 5 minutes, it felt like an eternity to them. Their lips entwined, sending waves of sweetness and tingling sensations coursing through their bodies. Eventually, they parted, a delicate thread of desire connecting their hearts, silently gazing into one another's eyes, which shimmered with tenderness and resolve. This was a revelation of love and a testament to their unspoken understanding, as they saw in each other the certainty of life ahead. You shall, I love you. Will you accompany me through the rest of my days? Do not say another word. I am willing. Yu Zhao's shy visage bore a hint of dreamy bewilderment, resembling a sweet peach, delightfully fragrant. As they shed the shackles of their past burdens, they moved toward the bed, losing themselves in each other for 2 hours, drifting in a haze of passion. The next day, they awoke past 10 o'clock. Yuan Ming's parents had prepared breakfast and placed it in the dining room. He took a portion into his bedroom, reflecting on the wildness of the previous night. At just 19, it had been a thrilling first experience, and he could not bear to see his beloved suffer, so he brought her sustenance. After finishing breakfast, I boarded a spacecraft and arrived at the Hilton Hotel in Chengdu. The discussions proceeded exceptionally well, culminating in an expenditure exceeding $10 billion within a mere hour to acquire 6 music companies. That same day, contracts were signed, with the funds provided by Lilith. Yuan Ming did not inquire about the source of the money. The necessity of questioning Earth's currency had diminished. as perspectives and worldviews had evolved. Lilith, which cosmic nation should I consider for citizenship? What steps must I take to join? The Hongwang cosmic nation is analogous to a province on Earth. The Baiyun Empire resembles a city, while the Yunnan nation corresponds to a county. Regardless of the nation one joins, all fall under the administration and citizenship of the Hongwang cosmic nation. However, joining the Baiyun Empire is somewhat preferable, as its immigration office is located on the morning star of the Milky Way. The morning star is 50 times the size of Earth, with gravitational force over 50 times that of our planet. One must attain at least planetary rank to walk normally there. Otherwise, disembarking from the spacecraft would feel akin to being crushed under the weight of 50 selves, leading to suffocation and fractured bones. Consequently, only those of planetary rank and above are at risk of enslavement, the price for which ranges from 1 to 10 cosmic coins, while those below planetary rank hold no value. If a planet is 50 times the mass of Earth, assuming Earth's mass is m and radius is r, then the planet's mass would be 50 m and its radius 50 r. According to the gravitational acceleration formula g(g)(mr), the gravitational acceleration on Earth is g(g)(mr), while that of the planet becomes g(g)(50m), 50r, thus the planet's gravitational acceleration is also 50 times that of Earth. It appears that without prior cultivation, one cannot even leave Earth. That evening, I spent a cozy night with Yu Xiao, enveloped in warmth. The following morning, at the usual location near the neighboring star, I patiently awaited the arrival of shipments. At last, I received the delivery of Martin Company's estate, J43881850015, and 10A class spacecraft. Additionally, there were 10,000 slaves at planetary level 9 and 2,000 at stellar level 1. Lilith then maneuvered the 10 spacecraft, transporting all the slaves to Mars, where the J43881850015 estate was released. In less than an hour, with the assistance of over 100,000 people, a diameter of 35 kilometers for the estate was established. Resembling a small city, planetary-level warriors, by absorbing cosmic energy, would not suffer from hunger. After settling the slaves, I selected 200 stellar-level individuals to serve on Earth, while the remainder received 1,000 cosmic coins each for cultivation, as there were ample resources in my storage. Among the slaves, both men and women were present. Should they bear offspring, they would, barring unforeseen circumstances, serve the Yuan family for generations. Only upon reaching domain lord status could they be assigned different roles. Otherwise, they would remain as servants. Such is the rule of the cosmos. Mars, in time, will be further developed. Once the situation stabilizes, I plan to import water from other planets to create oceans and transplant trees, transforming it into a true living planet. Chapter 21. The Blue Star Federation Conference. Once he had settled his affairs on Mars, Yuan Ming returned to Blue Star accompanied by 200 star-class slaves. In the ensuing days, apart from spending time with his family, he primarily engaged in discussions over tea with San Ma, deliberating on strategies to amass greater wealth within the cosmos, enhance Blue Star's development, and facilitate its inhabitants' journey into the universe. Casually checking his personal panel information, he noted, name, Yuan Ming race, uncharted alien, from the undeveloped planet Blue Star, brain development, 6, average in the cosmic realm is 60, combat power, 0.6, average in the cosmic realm is 50, level, weak. Below standard cultivation method, none life limit, 2284 occupation, none additional information, none financial status, Earth currency, 21. 3 billion renminbi cosmic currency, 18, 925, 973, 694 coins indeed. His cosmic currency had reached an astounding 18.9 billion, with continuous growth every minute. The Cosmic Cultural Music and Entertainment Company sent congratulatory messages, promoting him to the status of a golden writer. Incredible, my friend. After nearly selling 20 billion, he barely attained the title of golden writer. One wonders how much one must sell to achieve platinum, diamond, or even king writer status. Surely, it must be calculated in trillions or more. Lilith, could you please check who the most popular writer is at the moment? Here is the information you requested. The current sensation is Kardashian Rona, whose works have captivated over 30,000 cosmic nations. Many of her pieces have been adopted as military anthems, akin to the D country's Caesar battle hymn on Blue Star. Consequently, her songs are exceptionally lucrative, with each new release generating no less than several thousand billion cosmic coins. Since her debut, her financial status has become incalculable. However, in comparison to you, it remains uncertain. In just 6 days, from the 8th to the 14th, you have already accrued 20 billion cosmic coins. This is merely due to your status as a newcomer with limited exposure. Should your music reach all 36,000 cosmic nations after a year, it is likely to skyrocket in popularity. Lost in a sea of endless contemplation, Yuan Ming found himself too excited to sleep. He placed an order with the Cosmic Virtual Company for numerous materials and treasures, and even commissioned a large-scale mining device, Model B-2256. This equipment, measuring 6 kilometers in length and width, housed 300,000 functional robots capable of mining, road construction, wall building, and patrolling, all fully automated, and Lilith could also control it. As the date turned to July 15, 22023, Yuan Ming donned a formal suit and, accompanied by 2 domain lord-level synthetic servants, arrived at the meeting hall in Zheng city of the Han Dynasty for the conference, which would be broadcast live. At 9:25 a.m., the presiding officer from 60 nations appeared in formal attire. Everyone found their nameplates and took their seats in the square conference room, measuring 25 meters on each side. Although the room, adorned with carpeting, appeared somewhat small, it was designed to accommodate the reporters behind, with hundreds of nations and 600 journalists densely occupying the space, their flashbulbs incessantly firing. The news channel was broadcasting live, leaving the citizens of the Han Dynasty watching the conference on television utterly bewildered. On the main podium, a nameplate reading Yuan Ming rested before a young man in his early 20s, prompting a wave of curiosity among attendees. Is there such a notable figure in the Han Dynasty? At 9:30, the esteemed representative of the Han Dynasty, presiding over the meeting, delivered an address and subsequently introduced the protagonist of the day, Yuan Ming. He then invited Yuan Ming to elucidate the current circumstances. A grand projection displayed the vastness of the starry sky, and Yuan Ming briefly expounded upon cosmic information, welcoming all attendees to the conference. He announced that his superintelligent brain would provide insights into the state of the universe. After all, this is his home planet. The cosmos is immense, and the Milky Way, spanning 2 million light-years, is but a grain of sand in the universe. Thus, if we consider the universe, all inhabitants of the blue planet are akin to one family, true brothers. Yuan Ming could employ a myriad of coercive methods, akin to those found in web literature, to conquer the blue planet and compel its people to comply with his will. However, such actions would be devoid of meaning, merely a manifestation of perversion, catering to one's selfish desires. The ultimate expression of fear stemming from poverty is far less admirable than purchasing a life-bearing planet to serve as a pawn. Yuan Ming genuinely aspires for the denizens of the blue planet to one day flourish throughout the cosmos, producing waves of formidable blue planet warriors. Let us consider the case of Country H. If a destitute individual, consumed by fear and hardship, were to become a prosecutor one day, he would likely employ his distorted understanding of society to exploit it. The underlying logic would manifest in a desperate attempt to extort, blackmail, and engage in corruption, wielding his minimal power to obstruct those of greater strength. Ultimately, he would proclaim his dedication to public service, recounting how he persevered to achieve his current status, only to weep bitterly when his misdeeds are uncovered. Thus, those who ascend from the lower echelons elicit fear, as their psyche has been warped, rendering them capable of any transgression. In contrast, consider a privileged individual like Principal Wang, a scion of wealth, who has lacked for nothing and possesses a sound moral compass. Should he choose to enter public service, it is improbable, perhaps 90 unlikely, that he would engage in nefarious activities. Even if he did, it would likely involve compensating others to willingly participate, for he is unencumbered by greed and possesses a robust moral framework. Yuan Ming currently embodies a similar state. Lacking for nothing, he is devoid of desire. With 20 billion cosmic coins, he could easily acquire 200 life-bearing planets and reign supreme, rendering any contention over the blue planet trivial. Consequently, any investment in Earth yields no returns, as they cannot provide Yuan Ming with any recompense. Meanwhile, the voice of Lilith resonates in his ears. There are currently 300 million known species in the universe, the majority residing within the realms of over 300 of the most powerful races, including humans, elves, divine beings, cosmic behemoths, beastfolk, mechanical entities, and insectoids. Among them, the human race boasts 36,000 cosmic nations, each composed of countless empires, with the largest containing between 520,000 empires. Each empire comprises a minimum of 500 to 20,000 star systems, each star system housing between 500 and 20,000 life-bearing planets. In this vast realm of life planets, numerous nations exist, and I currently find myself within the galactic empire of the Cloudy Kingdom in the primordial universe, specifically the Milky Way galaxy. Here, the currency is denominated in cloud coins, with 1 cloud coin equivalent to 10,000 cloud blue coins. The longevity of cosmic beings varies significantly. A non-entity apprentice has a lifespan of 200 years, wielding a strength of 100,000 pounds with ease. Planetary beings boast a lifespan of approximately 1,000 years, capable of exerting a force of 1 million pounds effortlessly. Stellar beings exist for an entire epoch, roughly 10,000 years, with the ability to traverse space beyond Earth. Cosmic beings endure for 10 epochs, with a single strike capable of reducing a city to ruins. Domain lords possess a lifespan spanning 100 epochs, with the power to obliterate planets. Realm masters live for 1,000 epochs, capable of lifting stars and shattering suns. Those transcending the mortal realm achieve immortality, commanding celestial bodies with but a blink. Chapter 22. The Blue Star Federation Conference. As the conference commenced, Lilith showcased her formidable and astonishing abilities, having firmly established control over all televisions, computers, and smartphones worldwide. She seamlessly switched the broadcasts to the conference proceedings, providing real-time translations in various languages to ensure universal comprehension of the discussions. In a state of astonishment, after half an hour of elucidation, the audience, gathered before screens, found their understanding of the cosmos entirely transformed. They were captivated by the unprecedented explanations of the universe, absorbing unfamiliar knowledge and reflecting on its implications. The notion that apprentices could live for 200 years far exceeded conventional understanding. The lifespan of planetary beings reaching 1,000 years, and stellar beings extending to 10,000 years, transitioning to epochs as a measure of lifespan, seemed utterly preposterous. The measurement tools were no longer familiar metrics but rather denominations of 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100 million, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, and so forth. Astonishingly, a cosmic nation could possess 360 trillion life planets, and yet the entirety of Blue Star's assets scarcely amounted to 100 cosmic coins. Within the vast expanse of the universe, the 20,000 life planets of the Milky Way seemed but insignificant villages. In this cosmic arena, spacecraft traveled through dark universes utilizing warp engines and traversed wormholes. A mere flash of light could instantaneously transport one to another location. It was revealed that billions of life forms existed in the cosmos, with over 300 peak races, of which humanity was merely one. The most frequently posed questions revolved around these unfathomable concepts. Through Lilith's patient explanations, the people's confusion gradually dissipated, though their astonishment only grew stronger. The conference extended for 4 hours, with Lilith's discourse occupying over 40 minutes, and her responses to inquiries taking 2.5 hours. The remaining hour culminated in a highly anticipated display of prowess, as 10 magnificent spaceships hovered above the Forbidden City, a staggering assembly of 100,000 planetary-level powerhouses, 2,000 stellar-level beings, 4 cosmic-level entities, and 2 Realm Master-level experts filled the skies, capturing the attention of the world. In an instant, every computer and television, indeed any powered device, switched to the breathtaking spectacle unfolding outside. Lilith stepped forward to meticulously elucidate the formidable composition of this extraordinary assembly. When the world learned that not a single one of these over 100,000 individuals hailed from the blue planet, and that many possessed the power to obliterate it with but a single hand, all of them being the subservient followers of Yuan Ming, a profound silence enveloped the globe. What unfathomable power was this? It was simply astonishing. This display of might served not only as an exhibition of strength, but also as a stern warning. The act of feigning ignorance was a narrow-minded approach. To behave in such a manner towards the innocuous inhabitants of the blue planet would be utterly unjust. Yuan Ming, while unafraid of trouble, earnestly wished to avoid it. Subsequently, Yuan Ming addressed the screen with solemnity, proposing, first, the establishment of the Blue Planet Federation, wherein all nations would be renamed as districts, forming an administrative framework. The Federation would operate in 2 official languages, H language and the universal tongue. Yuan Ming generously pledged 100 million cosmic coins to facilitate the regulation and development of the Federation. Second, the introduction of a parliamentary system. Countries with populations exceeding 20 million would be represented, while those below this threshold would not be included. A provisional allocation of 66 parliamentary seats was proposed, with the H language faction claiming 7. Given the generally extended lifespans of cosmic beings, elections for parliament would occur every 10 years, conducted autonomously within each district, free from governmental interference. Third, all nations would dissolve their militaries, establishing a Federation Guard instead. Yuan Ming would personally sponsor the federal government with 100 ships equipped with warp engines and advanced weaponry. Fourth, the formation of a law enforcement agency. The Federal Authority of Force Regulation, composed of individuals of planetary level and above, with Yuan Ming himself appointed as director, tasked with overseeing all citizens possessing combat capabilities and handling associated cases. Fifth, the passport system would be abolished. All inhabitants of the Blue Planet would be considered citizens of the Federation. Federation citizens would enjoy all rights and protections afforded by the Blue Planet Federation, while those outside its bounds would no longer receive its safeguarding. Sixth, the inaugural Speaker of Parliament must be appointed from the H-language faction, serving a term of 10 years. Seventh, upon acceptance of these stipulations, one would officially join the Blue Planet Federation, with a commitment to dutifully uphold all federal responsibilities. Eighth, member districts and citizens would fully partake in the benefits and comprehensive protections provided by the federal government. Ninth, Yuan Ming would extend substantial support to the member districts, with the Federal Authority of Force Regulation annually recruiting 1,000 trainees from each district. In the H-language Special Administrative Region, 10,000 trainees would be recruited to Mars for rigorous training until they attain planetary status, after which they would be reassigned and entrusted with significant tasks. 10. The aforementioned benefits and regulations are exclusively applicable to the citizens of the Blue Star Federation and its member regions. 11. All current leaders attending today's meeting will serve as the inaugural members of the Council and acting district heads for a term of 10 years. July 15, 2033, has been designated as the first day of the year 0001 of the Blue Star Federation. Regarding these 11 stipulations, the speakers of various nations were filled with a sense of helplessness, utterly unable to refuse or counter them. The first provision concerning language, the second regarding the allocation of council seats, and the ninth about the disparities in enrollment quotas were patently unjust. Yet, upon deeper reflection, they realized they possessed no means to threaten Yuan Ming. Could they launch a nuclear strike? Others could obliterate Blue Star with a mere punch, rendering such threats trivial. The disparity in power and status was stark. In the current predicament, they were left to be at the mercy of others. Ultimately, all 60 leaders resigned themselves to the decisions made during this meeting, especially Biden, who nearly leapt for joy upon seeing the 11th clause. When Yuan Ming presented the pre-prepared letter of commitment, they all affixed their signatures. Signing this document effectively extended their terms by another 10 years. In their view, anyone vying for their positions was opposing the federal government. This piece of paper might lack any legal efficacy, yet its impact on the world populace was undeniably profound. The nation was astounded. The world was ablaze with tumult, yet many were filled with anticipation. The notion that apprentices could live for 200 years was already astonishing, let alone a millennium, a lifespan that resembled something out of a myth. However, humans are always driven by dreams. What if it truly came to pass? Thus, upon witnessing their country's speaker sign the commitment letter, they felt a surge of secret delight. Thankfully, our region is fortunate. Those nations with populations under 20 million were excluded from participation. How fortunate we are. Chapter 23, Blue Star Federation Conference 03, from this day forth. It marks the first day of the year 0001 of the Federation, coinciding with the establishment of the Blue Star Federation and its foray into the cosmos. The world was in turmoil. Some held expectations, while others felt disappointment. Those eager for the opportunity to study at the Martian Federation's Administrative Bureau contrasted sharply with those from nations with populations under 2 million, pondering how they would navigate such a fate. Were they to exist like beings without identity or nationality in the cosmos? To be enslaved with no oversight? How cruel. Moreover, the H Dynasty's allocation of numerous quotas seemed excessive, while other nations with populations of 3, 4 billion received only 1,000, particularly Japan, America, India, and others. The H Dynasty alone was granted 10,000. Everyone knew the underlying reasons, yet there was nothing to be done. After all, it was initiated by the H Dynasty. And with over 100,000 formidable individuals capable of traversing the skies, what could one do? The highest assembly of the Blue Star Federation comprises 66 council members, with the H Dynasty monopolizing 7 seats. Each nation now vies for its own interests. How could one engage with more than 7 nations for assistance? The speaker possesses a veto power, also belonging to the Han Dynasty. Alas, this seems to compel us toward joining the Han Dynasty. Yuan Ming cannot concern himself with your multitude of ambitions. Blue Star is but a small realm, encompassing over 200 nations, with thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands aspiring to establish their own states. I will not indulge you. The division of Blue Star into 60 regions is already my utmost concession. Initially, I contemplated the creation of 7 grand continental zones: Y, F, O, North America, South America, D Ocean, and L Pole. However, upon reflection, I realized that such an arrangement would severely disadvantage the H dynasty in terms of resource allocation, particularly given that half of the global population resides in Y. While resources can be skewed, it is vital to consider the welfare of other members within the Blue Star Federation. One must not be overly concerned with external perceptions. Yet it is imperative to remain cognizant of others' sentiments. As the meeting adjourned, it was primarily for the benefit of the media and the public. In reality, prolonged discussions were still required, as the transformation of national territories and sovereignty into administrative regions presents numerous challenges yet to be resolved. After extensive deliberation and a half-hour intermission, a grand banquet was prepared by the Zheng city, featuring over 40 exquisite dishes served at tables of 10. The attendees, famished and eager, dined without beverages, racing against the clock with only 30 minutes to replenish their energy. Do not underestimate the toll of meetings. They are the most demanding in terms of both physical and mental exertion, especially at this juncture when each individual harbors their own ambitions, striving to secure the utmost benefits for their respective administrative regions. Following the meal, at 1500 hours on January 1st, 0001 of the Federation, the delegates re-entered the conference hall, engaging in fervent discussions regarding the interests of the administrative districts. When the debate reached an impasse, Yuan Ming dropped a bombshell. I am aware of your individual aspirations. I do not intend to exert stringent control over each of you. Allow me to share my intentions. I plan to acquire 10 life planets to serve as colonies for Blue Star. I will invest resources in you without expecting any returns. For you are compatriots from my homeland. I wish for your vision to extend beyond the confines of Blue Star. Upon hearing these words, a wave of astonishment washed over the assembly, and the attitude towards the Han dynasty shifted dramatically. The H dynasty's interests were met with unanimous approval, and the meeting swiftly approached its conclusion. By 1700 hours, all matters had been resolved, and the district leaders boarded their private planes to return to their respective regions. This mission required prompt communication to every individual. It was laden with significance and personal advantage: 10 more years of governance. For nations like Biden's, R, H, D, and D, a decade in power equates to a windfall. Moreover, from the current global perspective, these 10 years are paramount, the inception of Blue Star civilization. Even in death, one will be immortalized in the hearts of future generations, their legacy enshrined on the walls for reverence. Particularly explosive was the final revelation. The M nation had become invincible on Blue Star, expending vast sums daily on the surface of Blue Star, the Moon, and Mars, planting flags as a prelude to entering interstellar civilization and constructing spacecraft. Now, everything lay before us, readily attainable: 10 life planets. One individual from the Jian nation could not possibly consume them all, but securing even one would render them a national hero. The urgent task at hand is to return and disseminate this news, silencing those who lack foresight. This time, Yuan Ming was not merely spinning grand tales. Following Lilith's suggestion, his worth had surged. Upon checking his status panel, he noted: name, Yuan Ming race, astral being, from the undeveloped and unknown planet. Blue Star, mental development, 6, with the cosmic average being 60, combat power, 0.6, with the cosmic average being 50, level, weak constitution. Below par cultivation method, none life limit, 2284 occupation information, none other information, none currency, earth currency, 21. 3 billion renminbi cosmic currency, 36,056, 928, 959 coins now. Observing these figures evoked little emotion within him. Despite being aware of the substantial growth, the allure of such exponential increases was undeniable. According to Lilith, in comparison to Blue Star's size, he could purchase over 360 life planets. Do not underestimate the value of Earth. Once acquired, they are permanent assets. Even if one were to buy slaves, a level 9 planet could be sold for 10 cosmic coins, allowing for a return on investment after merely 10 million years, a swift passage of time for true powerhouses. Thus, although the price of life planets seemed steep, the returns were indeed rapid. With his considerable wealth, acquiring 10 planets for colonization appeared quite advantageous. In the future, should he elevate the levels of his parents, wife, and children, they would need a larger life planet capable of withstanding gravitational forces. Therefore, the immediate priority was to enhance his strength. The revolution had not yet succeeded. Comrades must strive onward. From this day forth, the entire world, nay, the entirety of Blue Star, would come to know of a young man in his 20s named Yuan Ming, etched in their memories as the uncrowned king of the Han dynasty. Young men were consumed by jealousy, for he embodied the quintessential protagonist. Young women secretly admired him, speculating whether he had a girlfriend or a wife, wishing to bear his children. Even 60-year-old women on the streets of the Han Dynasty whispered and gossiped while dancing in the square. In developed nations such as M country, Y country, R country, and H country, major conglomerates had begun investigating Yuan Ming's identity, convening meetings to discuss him. Lilith had intended to inform Yuan Ming of their unscrupulous plans to gather evidence against them. However, their primary focus was on arranging advantageous marriages. Although this strategy lacked honor, it had proven immensely practical over millennia. From ancient times to the present, marital alliances served as crucial means of preserving and perpetuating families, politics, and wealth. Thus, after heated discussions, a plan was established. Prominent global families and conglomerates sought out the chief representatives through various means, eventually reaching out to Yuan Ming. Following extensive dialogue, the world would soon witness a significant shift. On January 3, 0001, after several days of adjustment, an official global announcement was made, led by M country. Regions such as our country, the Eastern District of Japan, and B country were subsequently rebranded, with the Han Dynasty renamed the Huaxia District. As the global landscape transformed, Yuan Ming convened the Supreme Assembly of the Blue Star Federation, with all 66 representatives in attendance. He proposed the allocation of 100 million cosmic coins for sponsorship, leading to fervent discussions regarding its expenditure. The final decision was to procure controllable nuclear fusion technology, advanced magnetic vehicle production lines, and spacecraft manufacturing lines. However, due to the fact that warp engine technology is monopolized by various large corporations in the universe, akin to how the aviation engines in Xia country are solely reliant on imports, only controllable nuclear fission remains a technology available for purchase, alongside industrial robots, and mining machines. It is worth mentioning that the principle of nuclear fusion was proposed as early as 1933, while nuclear fission, which would later alter the global landscape, was discovered 5 years thereafter. The principles underlying a nuclear fusion reactor are straightforward and easily comprehensible. However, their realization was nearly impossible given the technological level of humanity at that time. The first step necessitates that the mixed gas, serving as the reaction medium, must be heated to a plasma state, meaning that the temperature must be sufficiently high to liberate electrons from the confines of atomic nuclei, allowing the nuclei to move freely. At this juncture, a temperature of approximately 100,000 degrees Celsius is required for direct nuclear contact to occur. The second step involves overcoming the Coulomb force, which is the repulsion between positively charged atomic nuclei. To achieve this, the nuclei must move at exceedingly high velocities, which can be attained most simply by further heating, elevating Brownian motion to a frenzied level. To reach such a state of motion, temperatures exceeding hundreds of millions of degrees Celsius are necessary. Once this is accomplished, the nuclei of tritium and deuterium collide at immense speeds, resulting in the formation of new helium nuclei and neutrons while releasing substantial energy. After a period, the reaction medium no longer requires external energy for heating, as the temperature from nuclear fusion itself is sufficient to sustain continued fusion. This process can persist as long as helium nuclei and neutrons are expelled in a timely manner, and fresh mixtures of tritium and deuterium are introduced into the reaction medium. A small portion of the energy produced remains within the reaction medium to maintain the chain reaction, while the majority can be harnessed as usable energy. It may seem deceptively simple. However, one significant challenge remains: where to contain this reaction medium, which reaches temperatures of hundreds of millions of degrees Celsius. To date, humanity has yet to create any chemical structure capable of withstanding even 10,000 degrees Celsius, let alone temperatures in the hundreds of millions. This elucidates why, despite the hydrogen bomb having been developed over half a century ago, humanity has yet to effectively harness energy from nuclear fusion. Fortunately, humanity is quite ingenious. When chemical structures prove inadequate, physical experimentation is pursued. 50 years ago, two theories emerged for constraining high-temperature reaction mediums, one of which is inertial confinement. This method involves encapsulating several milligrams of deuterium and tritium in a small sphere with a diameter of a few millimeters, and then uniformly bombarding it with laser or particle beams from the exterior, causing the inner layers of the sphere to compress inward. As the gas within the sphere is compressed, its pressure rises sharply, leading to a dramatic increase in temperature. Upon reaching the requisite ignition temperature, the gas within the sphere undergoes an explosive reaction, generating a substantial amount of thermal energy. Such explosions occur 3 to 4 times per second, continuously releasing energy at a level capable of reaching millions of kilowatts. One of the foundational figures behind this theory is the esteemed Chinese scientist Wang Ganchang. However, the technology of Blue Star has yet to be genuinely applied, while other celestial bodies in the universe have already regarded such knowledge as elementary. Even warp engines are standard equipment for ordinary spacecraft, not to mention nuclear energy. The reason for procuring these items lies in the fact that the theoretical research behind them is already established. It is now essential to lay down and supplement the foundational knowledge. Only by mastering these fundamental theories can one approach and create more advanced technologies. It is not feasible to leap directly into warp engines, dark matter, or wormholes. Even if provided with all the textbooks, years of study are required. And without the necessary tools, one would still need several more years, decades, in fact, may pass unnoticed. Presenting a disassembled warp engine to the top scientists of Blue Star would be akin to asking kindergartners to tackle the problems of academicians. It is utterly incomprehensible. Therefore, it is prudent to start with practical applications and proceed step by step. Earth still has a long journey ahead, and haste is unwarranted. Subsequently, the tasks fell upon Yuan Ming, who was overwhelmed with work, procuring a multitude of equipment and production lines. He exhausted the accumulated 100 million, and ultimately, he even dipped into his own pockets to purchase 5 annihilation cannons at 8 million cosmic coins each, along with 6 billion grams of violet dew. At a mere 1 cosmic coin for every 100 grams, totaling 60 million. However, just 10 grams of violet dew can elevate an ordinary individual to the rank of apprentice. To attain the planetary level status as an apprentice, one must first reach the pinnacle of apprenticeship, a condition that is not easily met. Upon returning to the manor after handling these matters, he was greeted by a surprising sight. His abode was filled with girls from Oz, Y, and F continents, along with 2 mixed-race individuals of brown skin. Upon closer inspection, it appeared that they were the offspring of Caucasians and Africans, approximately 200 in total. To be frank, they were indeed strikingly beautiful, stirring Yuan Ming's heart. What was the situation? Soon, a person in uniform approached to clarify the matter. It became evident that the influx of over 200 individuals was a consequence of his promise to the consortium to provide a few caretakers for his household. He had not anticipated such an overwhelming response. Moreover, all were dressed rather provocatively. Who was to care for whom in this scenario? Naturally, his parents supported their son, wishing for him to take as many wives as possible, for more grandchildren would be even better. Yet, Yuan Ming felt overwhelmed by this unexpected burden. Surely, this multitude would drain him dry. Among them was even Elon Musk's daughter. Was this an attempt to bribe him with his daughter? After pondering, he decided to accept the situation but would defer any decisions for a while. However, he wished to send away the more than 10 individuals from F continent. He found them utterly repulsive, resembling coal balls. A few of the brown-skinned individuals were more tolerable, as their exotic charm was merely a shade darker than that of those from Xia country. This is not a matter of racial discrimination. During my time in China, I also had friends of African descent, but they certainly carried an unpleasant odor. Dear friends, I kindly ask for your support. A significant boost would be greatly appreciated. Chapter 25. Decision and execution. The following 5 days passed in a blur of intense busyness. During this period, the Blue Star Federation convened several crucial high-level meetings, filled with fervent discussions and decisive commands throughout the entire process. The attitudes of the 66 legislators towards Yuan Ming have undergone a profound transformation. Initially, they regarded him as nothing more than a fleetingly passionate scion, yet now they hold him in high esteem and support him wholeheartedly. This shift is attributable to the fact that every decision he makes and every command he issues is aimed at guiding the inhabitants of Blue Star towards the grand ambition of exploring the vast universe. The convening of meetings is an inevitable course of action, intended to clarify the direction of progress, establish reasonable regulations, articulate specific requirements transparently, and judiciously allocate various tasks. Viewed from a macro perspective, this is a necessary strategic plan. However, from a micro standpoint, the pressures faced by different administrative regions are even more pronounced. In numerous fields such as education, medicine, military affairs, public security, and administration, there is a pressing need for meticulously crafted plans and regulations. The magnitude of this undertaking should not be underestimated. One must not perceive this as the narratives depicted in popular literature, where a nation is established one day and the next day enjoys peace and prosperity with harmonious governance. Such scenarios are merely fictional and should not be taken seriously. Even in a company with a workforce of 10,000, the mere adjustment of personnel and changes in salary can lead to considerable turmoil. How much more challenging would it be for an entire nation, in a country with hundreds of millions, if not billions, of people? Regardless of the measures being implemented, from convening discussions, voting approvals, to official confirmations and execution, without at least half a month. It often results in merely the issuance of a paper document to inform everyone of the matter. The actual execution of these decisions is far from a trivial endeavor. This work of mine must not mislead you, dear readers. What we pursue is authenticity. Since you have dedicated time and effort to read my book, I am compelled to impart some practical insights that will broaden your horizons. Within the pages of this book lie treasures of knowledge, and as the author, having worked in a large corporation and undergone systematic and professional education, I possess a modicum of understanding in these areas. Generally speaking, an organizational structure is typically designed with 4 levels, as follows. 1. Decision-making level. This is the pinnacle of the organization, composed of individuals with core decision-making authority, such as the chairman and general manager. 2. Coordination level, or management level. This tier comprises subordinate entities to the decision-making level, encompassing various management departments. 3. Execution level. Under the guidance of the decision-making and coordination levels, the execution level employs various technical means to translate the organization's objectives into tangible actions. 4. Operational level, or tactical level. Yuan Ming's vision and scope extend far beyond Blue Star. Should future endeavors expand into star systems, or even a cosmic nation, the personnel from Blue Star can be regarded as confidants, yet they are vastly insufficient in number to meet the demands. With a population of 6 billion on Blue Star, dispatching just one representative per planet raises the question of how many star systems can be effectively covered. Clearly, the breadth of one's vision significantly influences the heights one can attain. If you find yourself as a supervisor and an employee within your department consistently makes mistakes and encounters frequent issues, it is not merely a reflection of their shortcomings, but rather a manifestation of your own deficiencies. As a manager with a visionary leadership perspective, one must possess a profound understanding of human resource management and excel in the judicious allocation of personnel, provided that the individuals entrusted to your care possess sound minds and robust health. Any persistent issues arising under your supervision can be attributed to your failure to assign tasks appropriately, thereby not placing them in positions where their strengths can be fully realized. This scenario is reminiscent of the character Su Sanduo, portrayed by Wang Baoqiang, whose recruitment was initially met with reluctance by his platoon leader. Su's father, however, insisted on his enlistment. Initially, Su surrendered without a fight, faced reprimand for carrying eggs, and even endured threats of execution. Ultimately, upon joining the 5th Squad, he engaged in road construction, completed 333 abdominal exercises, and successfully captured Lieutenant Colonel Yuan Lang. His platoon leader never relinquished hope in him, and Su gradually evolved from an unqualified recruit into a competent soldier. Hence, when employees or subordinates err, the responsibility squarely lies with their leaders. Jack Ma once remarked that when a cashier he employed stole money, he did not blame her, but rather took responsibility for not establishing comprehensive rules that could have prevented such opportunities. In various sectors abroad, including gambling, lotteries, and food, when breaches occur, the corresponding owners and companies willingly accept liability and never cast blame on consumers. Instead, they proactively refine their regulations. Such measures are what bolster their credibility, enabling them to grow and achieve remarkable success. A grand assembly convenes above, while smaller meetings transpire below. From January 1st to January 8th of the year 000, one of the Blue Star Federation, the Earth's administrative bodies have been engulfed in a whirlwind of work and frequent overtime. The populace is imbued with boundless anticipation for the unfolding future. Yet many are preoccupied with the prospect of embarking on their cultivation journeys to attain planetary status, thereby securing a lifespan of 1,000 years. After all, longevity remains humanity's Achilles heel. No matter how magnificent a thing may be, without ample time to relish it, it is rendered inconsequential. During these days, Yuan Ming has been receiving various ordered goods. However, the transfer of 100 spacecraft to the government is still premature. Moreover, Earth currently exists as an illicit entity within the cosmos, lacking any individual with a cosmic identity, and even the Blue Star is regarded as a barbaric planet, holding no significance among the galactic nations. Consequently, there is an apprehension that should they pilot the spacecraft away, it might expose Blue Star and invite military incursions, necessitating that the vessels be withheld until Earth secures its legitimate status. Nevertheless, the remaining procured medical devices, industrial equipment, mining machinery, and the crucial controllable nuclear fission facilities have all been delivered to the government, marking the onset of a critical phase for absorbing the relevant knowledge. Additionally, a production line for hover vehicles, powered by electricity, has been brought back. Once the controllable nuclear fission technology is perfected, vehicle production can commence. At that juncture, the inhabitants of Blue Star will have the freedom to soar through the skies, no longer confined to the cramped quarters of an aircraft, as hover vehicles will enable them to traverse the globe with ease. Your support and positive feedback are greatly appreciated, as crafting this work is no simple task. I kindly request your respect, for you are all my esteemed mentors, and I assure you that your generosity will be duly rewarded in due time.